Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I'm playing is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we about to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716 make them pay with some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and him talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo don't make a kill when we talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo won't make a kill.
Welcome back to another live episode of the Podium podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host Aramis,
Melly Mac, 40 Keys.
40 Keys in the Hit House. Listen, we are sponsored by Ree's Tea. Bow, right there on the screen. No, it's not on the screen. Okay, all right, that's fine. Hold up, wait for it.
Hold up, wait a minute.
Oh, this is taking way too long.
Bam!
There it is. Bam! There it is, right there. All right, Ree's Tea on the screen. Man, I thought I almost had everything done and ready, but I guess I had one left. Listen. Best tea in town. Best tasting tea in town. Least ingredients. Every tea you buy, flip that label over and see what's in that bad boy. I bet you it's way more than what's in this tea, okay? The link is in the description. Go get you some. Now,
if it's my tea, it's got, like I said, vodka, whiskey,
just
gin.
tastes like that. It tastes, I'm telling you, you had it.
Like a Long Island? I don't know.
Did it or did it not taste like a Long Island when you had it?
Well, it tastes like tea.
Oh, okay. Hey,
Daddy did.
And you're not a tea drinker, but you like it.
I am not. It was good.
Right. There you go. Listen, that's all that needs to be
I
said.
am not an alcoholic. I'm on 6 step of the 12 that's necessary to escape this demon.
No guilty consciences here. None at all. As you can see, my man Rich says McDermott for president. Listen, we got this thing working, man. We got it working.
Let's go.
What?
Oh, it wasn't clap moment?
Y'all came in ready today.
That wasn't clap.
Y'all
My
came in
bad.
ready.
My bad.
Okay.
Well,
All
I
right.
mean, I did text you there may be some sodium, so you got to say the tagline.
I did.
Say it again now.
All true, no sodium.
Some sodium. Possibly.
No sodium.
Possibly some. So okay.
Matt
I'll work on it.
Matt got all truth.
All truth.
All truth.
And he don't care if it's
Listen,
sodium or not.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care if it hurt people's feelings. The truth is the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
Well,
It
from
shall set you free.
what I was told earlier this week, this truth is about to set a lot of people on fire.
Man.
Just so y'all know,
Yeah.
before he does this, like, comment, subscribe. And Laura.
Either that or they will after he says
Yes.
what he says.
And
One of
Laura,
the two
just
is
for
gonna
you,
Yeah.
there is a notification for the show that's coming up later in the day. It's a big picture of Do Champions. Do Champions Podium podcast. It tells you what time it is. Click to notify me, and it will show you. It will show up on your screen when it starts.
Ooh,
Yeah.
boy, this. Yeah, listen, y'all came ready.
Yeah, I
Not
did.
only did y'all come ready to
Yeah.
push my buttons, but y'all came ready for the show.
I'm gonna push a button.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might. Not on purpose. Mel,
All right.
you have the floor.
All right. Well, listen, what better than to start the show off than with
Stuff we heard.
Let's get to it.
So I am fed up.
Ooh,
I'm fed up.
fed up.
I'm tired of it.
Tired of it.
After the 53 roster was deemed the 53,
Mhm.
everybody came in with the comments and the phone calls, and I can't do it no more, man.
You can't do what?
Our wide receiver room is not dookie juice. It's not trash. Like, I'm tired of people keep saying that, and it's pissing me off.
Why is it pissing you off?
Because I'm glad you said that. Now,
You gotta.
You locked it up for it.
now,
I'm glad you said that.
first, before I even go into my point, let me just obviously, if I had it my way, would I want better wide receivers in the Bills roster? I would. But they're not the reason why we're not successful and why we're not going to the Super Bowl. Ain't got nothing to do with the wide receivers. So, the Buffalo Bills, we've been to the playoffs. Let's count our last 5 playoff losses.
Mhm.
Okay? We ain't gonna talk about the wins, we're about the losses.
Okay.
Let's rewind back to the Texans wild card game.
Mhm.
How did we lose that game?
I'm not saying that. You're not baiting me.
Wait, which game is this?
The first
The
Texans game.
the wild card game. Just how do we lose that game?
Well,
in your opinion, how do we lose that game?
Well, my opinion was a green Josh. Also,
Okay.
that phantom ref that ran in with the black jacket. He's like, wait. No, get out of here, dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a green Josh did because he started running backwards at the end. You know what I mean? So
What
Valid point, Keith.
wasn't the key turning point of that game that ref call?
that's what I'm talking. The Phantom ref
Yeah, the
Which
phantom
call we
ref
talking
call.
about? Which
at
call?
halftime, right after half,
Wh-
where he caught the ball and just tossed it down because he.
It's like
down
a
the ball.
crackback block or something like that.
Oh, you talking about that one, the crackback?
Yeah.
That was a game-turning call
Yes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
on Ford.
Yeah. Which shouldn't
Yeah.
have been a call.
So
well,
to
by the
me,
rule, yeah.
that's what ended up kind of giving everything. I mean, if you're going where I think you're going, yes, we want Duke Williams to play better or have a better performance. I think if Duke Williams had better hands or was a little bit better, those plays get made. We actually might win that game. But I don't know. Well, let me see where you're going first.
So let's go back to memory lane. We were winning that game.
Yes, we were.
16-0.
Mm-hmm.
16-0.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To Key's point, Green Josh. He was still balling, but he wasn't elite yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We all agree he wasn't elite yet.
Mm-hmm.
So there's three things that to me tipped that game over. One, after in the fourth quarter, Josh fumbled. Right? We was already up. They fumbled. They scored 19 unanswered points. So we was 16-0. Then it was 19-16. Okay? Now, defense held up pretty good. We had a key fourth down stop with 1 minute to go. Josh did what Josh did. Had the ball, 1 minute to go. Marched down the field, kickoff, house money, 19-19 overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now we go into overtime. I don't remember who had it first, but we had an opportunity to score. That's when Josh ran it. He jumped over the dude. That was the call. 15-yard penalty on going. Either it was a block in the back or it was a hole. Whatever it was.
No, it was a crackback.
Crackback.
Mm-hmm.
15 yards took us out of field goal range. We had to punt. We give it back to Texans.
Yep.
And then it's that horrible 2nd and 6 call where I think it was Seren Neal had him off the blitz, and another I don't know if it was Milano.
Oh, they banged into each other.
They banged into each other.
And he got
rolled
free,
out, threw the ball, got in the field goal range, field goal, game over.
Right.
Our wide receivers: John Brown, Beasley, Duke Williams, Dawson Knox, Devin Singletary, Frank Gore. We didn't have a problem scoring.
Mm-hmm.
We could score. The bottom, what to me, what causes that game was the second half was the fourth quarter and the overtime blunders. That call, that fumble, and that missed tackle.
And that, what was it, 3rd and like 20 that they threw to our old running back who became our running back again. Taiwan Jones.
Yep. I like Kev's point though, because he said it's always been the defensive players not making plays, and it's always been the defensive players that get the team beat, right?
Yep.
And in the playoffs, that's exactly right. I think what you saw in that Texans game was a great offensive coordinator in Bill O'Brien making halftime adjustments to be able to adapt to what and let's give Sean credit where credit is due. He came in with a great game plan to shut their offense down. He had them 16-0 at halftime.
He had them.
So it was working. The only thing is you have to be able to make adjustments in the playoffs.
Right.
That's the name of the game, right?
Right.
So after halftime they switched it up and they were able to score, and Sean, like he usually proves, he's not an adjustment maker.
So now in that game too, D-Hop caught fire. First half he was shut down. Mm-hmm. The second half he caught on fire. Okay, so moving on to the next one. The first Kansas City playoff game, the one where Diggs was on the when he had to take him off the field, blah blah blah. How do we lose that game? In y'all opinion, how do we lose that game?
Which game is this?
The first KC and Bills playoff game. The
AFC Championship game.
That one I don't even remember, honestly.
So honestly,
go
ahead.
I would say that was probably the only game that we played in the playoffs where we were clearly outmatched.
My man, I'm glad he said that. And that, because at that point, we were playing the best team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
We were good, but we wasn't on their level yet. We wasn't there. We was close.
Mm-hmm.
We wasn't there yet. Boom. Our wide receivers was John Brown, Beasley, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. I think Gabe Davis, he wasn't a starter, right?
John Brown was hurt that year, though.
So I think Gabe was in and out with somebody. He was platooning with something.
Yeah.
So boom. So that's that one. The next year is the infamous 13-second game.
Yep.
Mhm.
Wide receivers: Gabe, Steph, Knox. I forgot who I was. I forgot who was our third. I don't think Beasley was there.
For the 13-second
Yeah.
game.
I think.
Was
Wasn't
he
he
there? That was
Yeah,
the last
Beasley
year.
was
That
there.
was the last one, right?
Yeah.
That one we went toe to toe.
Yep.
Mhm.
Toe to toe.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
We all know how we lost that one. I don't need to bring that one up.
Can I say it?
Go ahead.
There was too much time.
Not even. You know what? I like it. People want to say we lost that game by 13 seconds. If you really look at the key turning point of that game, it was the literal half a second between Jerry Hughes being this close to sacking Patrick Mahomes and actually sacking Patrick Mahomes. Because if he sacks Mahomes, that ball doesn't get thrown to Kelsey. Like that game is over after that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're literally like it's less than two. We were half a second away from winning that game. We were a Jerry Hughes sack away
So you
from
agree?
winning that game. Agree.
Time.
yeah. In the NFL, that's all it takes.
Now, in that game, we went toe to toe, blow for blow with Kansas City, the best team in the NFL.
Mhm.
When we needed to score, we scored.
Mhm.
It wasn't even a. I
At
watched the
will.
game. It wasn't even a question.
That
Yep.
will.
Oh, we got the ball. Is we gonna score? Heck yeah! Boom, scored. We gonna score? Heck yeah, we gonna score. They
After a
can't
while, I
stop
was
us,
like, yeah,
right?
okay, yeah.
So boom. Next one, Cincinnati game.
Had everything.
Nobody played good.
Everything. The Cleats didn't play
Offense,
well.
defense,
Yeah.
special teams, everybody.
Mhm.
Terrible game. I think it had more to do with what happened with the DeMar Hamlin stuff and what happened the night before, but that's just my opinion. So, boom. Bottom line is they screwed the pooch on that one.
Yep.
Okay. Last game, Kansas City. In your opinion, how did we lose that game, or why did we lose that game?
I'm gonna say it just to piss people off.
Go ahead.
Should have hit Steph on that crosser.
Hey,
I'm just playing, man.
Why do you think we lost that
Just
game?
playing.
I think we lost that game because our superstar quarterback's left tackle
No, our
got
superstar
dog
left tackle.
walked into
Say
his
it.
shoulder as he was trying
Our
to throw the ball.
superstar quarterback, superstar left tackle. I just had to add that in there for you.
You about to get locked up, bro. You about to go to show jail and be muted for like the
Dang.
next 30 minutes.
Dang, you can do that?
I could do that. anyway, no, but yeah. So the two things in that game for me. The fake punt call was too important of a moment to do something like that and not have a great call dialed up for it, right? And then Deion Dawkins getting dog walked into Josh. Like let's not play around like the throw that Josh was about to make was not there. Shakir was wide open in the end zone. He broke his man off of him and had plenty of space to make that catch and score the go-ahead touchdown. And then we'd be biting our nails with like I think it was like a minute and 23 left or something like that on the clock that they would have had after that. But that was open. People are getting upset because he didn't take the underneath route. Why? Because they knew, or I don't think they knew, but they saw that the left tackle was getting beat, right? So let's not pretend like this is not a player's mistake that caused Josh to miss a pass that would have worked if he had a clean pocket.
I'll just say it was that play. That was just a bad play out of run because, as we talked about,
Yeah.
he got dog walked into Josh. Josh could have taken off or stepped.
But the
up in
rest of the play
pocket.
worked. How could you say it's a bad play?
Because Josh could have taken off. He was getting dog walked. That lane, that B gap was wide open. Too.
Yeah, but he's been.
He could have.
I'm willing
It's
to put my
semantics.
bottom dollar on. He's been coached so hard not to scramble left.
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, not left. He would have went right. He would have went up through the.
There wasn't space right. They were. That's why they put Chris Jones on Deion Dawkins.
It was okay. Okay, but no, I put it on that play regardless. That you can pick whatever you wanted. I just didn't
Okay.
work.
Okay. So 53 roster came out. We got 5 wide receivers compared to last year. So last year we had Steph, Shakir, Sherfield, Deontay Hardy, and Gabe Davis.
Mm-hmm.
This year, obviously, we missing Steph Diggs. Obviously, right?
What about playoff Gabe?
But Shakir is still there, right?
Yeah.
Now, your opinion: Gabe Davis, Curtis Samuel, lateral, upgrade, downgrade.
I think
Upgrade.
Curtis Samuel's an upgrade over Gabe Davis.
Okay.
But I would say Keon Coleman's the replacement for Gabe Davis. I would say
Who's Curtis Samuel replacing?
he just extra.
Either
Because
you gonna
you can-
answer the question by the rules or you not.
Right. So
Okay, nobody.
So either it's an upgrade,
No, I got you.
lateral,
Yeah.
or downgrade.
I mean, it's anything. Well, okay, let me not be that guy.
Okay.
But I'm gonna be that guy. Anything is an upgrade over what Gabe Davis last year.
Oh, man,
Sorry.
That's
Last year.
That's kind of
Last year.
Right.
Sorry.
All right. Okay.
I got one for that.
Oh, you fanboying Gabe Davis too? I knew it was gonna be
No,
him,
not
but
at
I didn't know it was
all.
gonna be you.
I just know you be having some egregious takes when it comes to Gabe Davis.
All right. So boom. So right now we got Samuel, Shakir, same and a little. I said upgrade, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Next, MVS, Trent Sherfield, lateral, upgrade, downgrade,
Downgrade.
downgrade. Okay. What'd you say?
You think MVS is a downgrade from Trent Sherfield?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk because
What
he
you
gonna
say?
say I'm egregious today.
Oh, what'd you say? What you
I
say?
think he's got me. If he plays, he's an upgrade.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
we watched Sherfield play for Miami.
But he didn't do anything in Buffalo. I'm saying
He
upgrade
wasn't
in
given
Buffalo.
an opportunity in Buffalo.
I think MVS will be. That's the point.
Yeah, but MVS doesn't deserve anything he's about
But he's
to get.
gonna get it.
Well, I honestly, I don't think he's going to be open to get the ball in the first place. I think so much of what he's going to be expected to do is the Gabe Davis role, which would explain why Gabe Davis didn't really have the numbers to back up his position in the first place.
I think I'm
So
gonna call him
much of-
High Hands Heenan this whole season.
Okay, but hold on. It's never been about that. It's like for everybody who thinks that this season is going to be this diverse offense where all these receivers are going to get off and be great. That's the league will make the Bills focus on whoever they can use to beat the other team. The NFL has always been about matchups. We need to be real about this. We need to understand that the Bills are trying to find ways to get players on the field that can win matchups. And I don't even think the receivers that are here this year are here for the purpose of getting 1,000 yards and when I say that, I don't want all these people to jump down my throat saying, well, receiver, what are the receivers? Ideally, based on what we've seen and what they've tried to hide, is Kincaid's gonna go for 1,000. Right? I think he's going to end up with double-digit touchdowns. I think the next receiver after that that's going to have a lot of success is Shakir. Why? Because Josh already has rapport with Shakir. He's great at getting open. He's a great route runner. He's got the speed and he's got the experience to do it in this offense. The next player after that, I think, is going to be Curtis Samuel because he's a gadget player that they want to use to create mismatches on within their scheme against the defense. After that, Coleman and MVS, I don't really think are going to get that much work this season. So when we're looking at all this and we're saying that, MVS opportunity, I don't think him or Coleman are really going to get a ton of opportunities if you really look at the way this offense is designed to work.
The way I look at the question is I think MVS is going to get more than 11 catches for 86 yards and a touchdown this year.
Okay.
That's where I look. That's where
All right. So you say upgrade, you say downgrade. Okay. Boom. Next one. Mac Hollins, Deontay Hardy.
Sweet feet over Hardy?
Upgrade.
What'd you say? Upgrade? Okay. Boom. The obvious one, Keon and Diggs, downgrade. Obvious, right? Okay. So out of those 5 receivers, most of them were upgrades besides Diggs and Coleman, right? Okay. So why the thing that pisses me off is everybody keeps saying, oh, our wide receivers suck, or we don't have a good wide receivers.
You know why? Well,
Dude. Let's get stupid. Let's say for all those playoff games, we had Diggs. Pick who you want. Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, pick one. Do we win any of those games if those 2 players are on the team?
Who? Justin Jefferson and
CeeDee Lamb
CeeDee
by
Lamb.
himself with what Diggs had, basically
Right.
what you're saying.
Right. So opposite Diggs give you another superstar wide receiver. Any of those games, any of those playoff games that we just talked about,
100%.
do we win any of those games?
Yes.
Which one?
We win the 13 seconds game.
How we win a 13 seconds game
Because
when Gabe Davis had 4 touchdowns and 200 yards and Stephon, everybody scored. We scored. It don't matter who was playing. We already scored. So it don't matter who you had there. We was going to score what we scored anyway.
We scored that much in the second half when Dayball was able to expose their safety. That's how he ended up with 4 touchdowns. we wouldn't have needed to do that if their defense wasn't able to focus solely on taking away. And yeah, Diggs got a touchdown, but if we had another guy like Amon-Ra or Jefferson or whatever, there is no the games would have looked a lot more like the second Bengals versus Chiefs game, where it was both of them couldn't stop each other, and the essence of the Chiefs not being able to stop us in that game was solely based on them having a terrible safety in their starting lineup.
So
outside of Gabe Davis's touchdowns, who else would have done that?
So again, anybody else you put in that spot. So again, like you just said, you said we would have went toe to toe, just like that Bengals game. Did we not go toe to toe with the Kansas City Chiefs touchdown to touchdown?
No, I'm simply giving our offensive coordinator more credit than I am the receiver. Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I'm saying, yeah, I get it, but we lost that game because we didn't have the ball last.
Thank you. So it doesn't matter who we had at wide receiver, we still would have lost that game.
We had the ball. We didn't.
So again, out of any of those playoff games, we win any of those games.
The Houston Texans game, we win.
I was going to say that's the only one. The Texans one.
Now I'll give you that one.
That's the only one.
Now we may have won that one,
right? Because we had Duke Williams at number one.
Right.
The game last year we would have won. If we had better another receiver, because they shut Diggs down for most of the game.
Okay, so let's say instead of missing that field goal, we score a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Who has the ball last?
Kansas City.
Are you confident that the defense would have stopped them from scoring?
No, nope. Not at all.
Again, that's my point. It doesn't matter who we had at wide receiver. That's not the problem.
And
yeah, but we can score in the playoffs. It's not the problem. The problem is the defense.
I can tell you why people say doom and gloom. And I was almost going to wear the shirt that it was too wrinkled. But this Jeff Diggs shirt.
Oh,
I actually works at the gym still. I work at the gym. I don't care.
Yeah.
But no, the reason why is the very reason why everybody hates the guy. And this is what I said before. They hate Diggs because he's not here anymore. And they hated the fact that how he represented the position number 14, whatever you want to call it. But there's no Diggs anymore. There's no name recognition anymore. Now it's scratched. So it's like, yo, our offense, our wide receiver room sucks because they don't have that one guy that they can say. And that's what it is. They don't realize that the sum of the parts is greater than it's been in forever.
It's literally one guy that we lost in wide receiver room. One upgrade. We lost. We lose one guy and we go from we got a Super Bowl contender offense to now we trash. We're not gonna make the playoffs.
Right.
Well, how that make sense?
It's just knee-jerk overreaction.
Okay, I
make it make sense. One guy
I'm about to.
And you go from Super Bowl to not even making the playoffs.
Here's why. You ready? In the playoffs, elite players are the ones that win you games. You have to have at least two players that can win matchups in the playoffs. You can't just have one, right? And what's happened to the Bills every single time they've gone to the playoffs is everybody else underperforms and Diggs gets basically shut down for the most part.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what he's saying, because he's saying you put Jetta in that position with the people we had. You put the same crap,
bro.
No. Right, but you can't make it like here's the issue I have with the point. I don't think it's a bad point. But when the support of that point is, well, the defense is the one that lost the game, that's not necessarily a contrasting point that emphasizes or props up the point you're trying to make. What I would have said is, if you want to say this wide receiver room is trash, you have to look at the success in its entirety of all the receivers put together versus what we've had the last few years, where really the only guys that could win matchups in against almost anyone has been Diggs and Beasley. John Brown has never been that. Gabe Davis has never been that. On top of that, we've never had an offensive coordinator that could get these receivers to do that, right? So I think that more supports your point versus the defensive point that you were trying to make. And what I would also say is, the point where I disagree is actually no. I'm sorry. Let me back up, because my brain immediately goes to, I think the floor for this receiving core is higher. Same with the defensive line. Like I said, I think the floor is higher than we've had in pretty much the whole entire time. We have a bunch of B-level guys, right? And usually it's been Stephon Diggs is an A+, and everybody else is a C+. You know what I'm saying? And the C+ guys, they're just throwing them out there hoping to get something from them, and they don't produce. But to say, like, the defense is the problem, right? Kev has been saying it. There's a few other people that have been saying it. Like, the defense is the problem. I agree with you there too, but I just wouldn't use the defense being the problem to support you.
Okay, so boom, I have a shoe here.
Whoa, wait.
What
Props.
Airman said and what I said is basically, if I give you the shoe and tell you to tie it, you're gonna tie it the way you're gonna tie it. I'm gonna tie it differently. You're gonna tie it differently. What's the end result?
It's tied.
It's tied. I don't care how we get to the tied shoe. The bottom line is the end goal. We don't win that game no matter what our offensive, what the wide receivers room look like. We could have had Lamb, St. Brown, and Jettis. We still lose the 13-second game.
Nah, you can't say that.
It.
You can't say that. You can't say that because how do you know we don't score more points?
Airmen, they couldn't stop us scoring. We scored every time we wanted to.
Your what if is based on what ifs.
No,
like it is.
Okay,
your whole point. Your whole point of throwing in, you name any receiver that you want to put in there. That's a what if, right? Because we don't have those players. We're never going to get those players.
But the point that I'm making is we scored when we needed to. Every time we needed the ball, we scored. So
listen,
having those players, it doesn't change the outcome. The outcome is still the same. We still would have scored the touchdown.
If you ask any NFL coach that has ever worked in the league and continues to work in the league, in their mind, they need to score every single time they have the ball. So for you to say, well, they score when they need to, well, no, they scored in response to another score. Like they don't take the ball and play on offense and say, well, we're ahead, we don't need to score, so let's just play safe. Some coaches might do that, but that's stupid. If you have the ball, the idea is to play offense to score touchdowns. Any coach will tell you that. So the mindset of, based on the players that they've had, they've scored whenever they needed to. No, Josh has just made plays whenever he's needed to.
So again, does it matter who's on there? Because we would have scored. My point is, we would have scored regardless.
No. Because
how you saying no if we already did it?
Because you're using that point to justify why this receiver group is good.
I never said it was good.
You're saying it's not trash.
It's not trash.
Exactly, it's not trash because guess what? Even if we had a better one,
what's the opposite of trash?
If we wouldn't have had a better, what's the opposite of trash? Airman's. There's excellent, there's good, there's average. Like there is no opposite.
So you don't. So you just don't want people to say it's trash. What do you want people to say it is?
What I'm trying to get. That's the point that I was making is it doesn't matter what our wide receiver room look like because guess what? Those games that we played in, it doesn't matter what our wide receivers would have been. We still would have lost the game.
Yeah. So I know you're saying basically you don't want people to call in talking about how we're done because we don't have this anymore.
Exactly.
You don't want people to call in and say, you know what, mail in our season tickets because we don't have that.
Okay, then should we call in and say we're done because we don't have our safeties and we don't have Matt Milano?
Call in and say we're done. Period. And that's the thing. We need to. What he's saying is we need to watch and see.
You know what? Y'all can call me the Joker then. I just want to watch the world burn.
Like, I know you do.
Yeah. Listen, if you really want to get down to the nuts and bolts of this whole thing, all of this stuff that we're talking about with players, it has nothing to do with the players in the first place. Because the players are being coached to do a certain thing. Now, certain players like Levi Wallace make mistakes in the game because they don't do what they're supposed to do. But guess what? That's because they've gone through such a indoctrination of you play the way the coaches want you to play. You don't do anything different. You don't change anything. You don't go based on your own mindset. You play the way we want you to play. And if that's the case, plays like Travis Kelce going to Patrick Mahomes and saying, hey, I know what was called, but I'm going to run this route, hit me. We can't make those kind of plays because our players aren't allowed to do that kind of stuff. Our coaches don't allow the players to do that. Sean McDermott specifically doesn't allow the players to do that. So it's never going to matter who we have at whatever position. It's not even going to matter that we have Josh Allen. You know why? Because we've had Josh Allen all these years. When has it mattered? Do we have any championships? No. So if we're looking at the roster and we're saying stop calling the roster trash, listen, we need another coach that can make this roster look better if we're going to sit here and talk about any of these guys looking great. I guarantee you they are going to struggle this year. I'm putting my bottom dollar on that bad boy.
What do you mean? What do you mean by struggle?
They are not going to win 10 games. They're not.
Okay.
They're not.
Now, if they do, what are you going to say? Are you going to?
We already got wings on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we already got wings on it. We having a wing party.
We got wings on the Jets winning the division.
We got a wing party.
So I'm just saying. So, like for example, like if the points that I make, right, if they're completely wrong, I'm going to say I was wrong, right? Okay. Hey, I was wrong. Nope, it didn't happen. Boom. But I'm telling you right now, like the logic to me does not make any sense whatsoever. It doesn't make any sense.
I can't say anything right now because
don't make
nothing
sense.
Started. I just can't. I mean, I get where people say I get why people do it. I just sit here and because it hasn't started yet. You know, I don't know. I mean, I actually I wanted to touch on something before we go any further. You know, the Goudreau brothers. That's hockey folks that
sad,
know.
Man. That's sad.
Yeah, they died last night, and I didn't know. Well, you might have known because you heard it on the radio, but they were riding bikes. Yep. Their sister was getting married today.
Yep.
Yep. And they died on the eve of their sister's wedding. 31 years old. Obviously, I don't know if they played direct rivals of the Sabres, but for this, it doesn't matter. Life is more important than hockey or any other sport that you're talking about. So the Blue Jackets lost some good players here, and hearts go out to them.
Yeah. Steve says wide receiver room is not trash; it's trash adjacent. The dog crap next to the flaming trash.
I say. You know what? I'm not because
go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm still emotional, but no, what is it when you say you're leaving it up for a future discussion? Because right now, looking at it, I'm like, what the hell is this? Mm-hmm. But then, you know, like you said earlier, the coaches figure out how to make MVS relevant and make KJ Hamler a number 6 wide receiver, and we're like, oh, okay, cool. But right now, it's like. It's not
my thing with all of this though is what does it mean? You're gonna win 10 games to do what?
I think that's my overarching argument with a lot of stuff. Not even 10 games. Like we're doing this to do what? What's the result?
You're gonna get to the playoffs and do what?
Right. Finally win. Hell yeah. But no.
Right. And I don't want to go through that again. Like for me, I would much rather pull the pin bottom. Like I put it like this. Let's look at what happened in Minnesota, who had a defensive minded head coach, right? They got rid of Stephon Diggs because he wanted more than 80 balls a year, right? They already had a number 1 receiver in Adam Thielen, and this Diggs was what, a 5th round pick or something like that, 6th round pick, 4th round pick came in and started playing like a 1B. Right. So here you have this offense with Kirk Cousins, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, and Stephon Diggs. Like, who doesn't want that offense? Right. But your head coach says, you know what? My wide receiver is getting a little too greedy. He's getting, he's getting a little too big for his britches. We're going to ship him off to die in Buffalo. Right. Mm-hmm. And what we're going to do after that is we're going to run the ball more. Bully said in here, we're running the damn ball this year. Right. But look at what happened with Minnesota. They started running the ball way more, only had Adam Thielen there. Adam Thielen became less productive. Why? Because teams could focus just on stopping him whenever the team needed to pass the ball. KJ Osborne never became anything. They never had another number 2 wide receiver step up and be what Stephon Diggs was for that offense. And teams were able to start throwing 8 in the box to guard Dalvin Cook. So he became less effective, got hurt more, and that hurt the offense. The same thing is going to happen if this GM or this owner or whoever is overseeing Sean McDermott right now doesn't get it into their brains that this does not work in today's NFL. You run to close out games. You don't run to win games. You throw to win. You throw to score. You run to close out games. You run and play defense, but you have to have a lead and you have to have a good enough defense and make good enough decisions as a head coach to be able to close those games out with the run. That's the bottom line. So when you get to the playoffs and you're playing much better competition and you got a head coach that's making terrible 4th quarter decisions and you got a defense that seems to not be able to play the same way that they play in the regular season and in the playoffs, and you got an offense that seems to sputter because during the regular season, nobody can really game plan that much for their matchup. They have to keep building and building and building for what they're trying to grow into for the playoffs. So you kind of run through the season and you feel great about your offense, but you get to the playoffs. Now these teams are solely focused on stopping you. They're not even thinking about the following week. It's win or go home. And we see what has happened year after year after year after year. It is tiring. I am tired of going into these games hoping that this team wins, only to see the same thing happen over and over in the 4th quarter. When is it going to end?
So I got another thing that's going to set you off. I'm going to piss a lot of people off today too, but I don't give a tinkle. This is bothering me here. This narrative of Josh Allen overrated. I don't care. I know people need what they need. They need some, but I don't care. This is why. because it was 11 people out of 103 or something like that, 100, whatever it was.
Yep.
And some people say it had to be Miami. No, because it's left open for interpretation.
Yep.
What does overrated mean?
Yep.
Do I have him at number 6 when you have him at number 3? And you know what I did? I actually did this. Let's do this exercise real fast because I'm trying to make a point here, and I hope it pulls up on this monitor. It does. Good. All right. So they have tiers. Okay. Oh, great. They have tiers of quarterbacks, and it's not going to let me pull up, but we'll just go off the top. Tier 1: Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Brady. Or Joe Burrow. Joe Brady was a hell of a quarterback. But he never played quarterback. But the thing is, okay, so Wiley, no, he's top 3, we'll say. But then Lamar Jackson's number 4, and so on and so forth going down. And my thing is, like I said, who voted? Everybody, it must have been the Stephon Diggs person. No. Secondly, what does it mean?
Right.
Because guess what? We got however many people watching the show right now, right? People love the show, right? People are going to thumbs up the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
People are always going to thumbs down the show.
Yep.
Guess what?
Yep.
It don't matter. I don't give a tinkle because we're still doing our show.
Tinkle, bro?
Well, I found my uncle still watches the show, and I feel, I gotta.
Okay, all right.
I want my uncle to watch the show and feel good at what he's listening to. His little nephew, I'm still.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
But he said tinkle. but no, I mean the thing is, and the thing is, we're underdogs. Yep. That's what we do.
Yep.
This isn't college. This is not popularity. This is a power ranking system based on wins and losses, not who you played against, not strength of schedule. You get there based on, unless you're in the tiebreaker, that's ridiculous.
But
you get there based on who you beat.
The Packers have been good every single year since I can remember. Since Brett Favre, since Aaron Rodgers, and now Jordan Love. Like, why can't we be like that? Where, like, they have what, two championships, with one with Brett Favre, one with Aaron Rodgers. Like,
that's in the span of like 30 years, though.
Well, it's in the span of 20 years with those two quarterbacks. But like, my thing is this: I get that our identity as a city is underdog mentality. We'll show you we're better than that, and blah blah blah. But to me, that's all. That is exactly what I said. It's blah blah blah. Like, why shouldn't we want to be the top dogs in town? Why shouldn't we want to be the Chiefs? Why shouldn't we want to be the Patriots?
Sure,
why shouldn't
we want to?
I think the issue is the Chiefs are the top dogs right now.
Yeah.
No. I get that, but what I'm trying to say is Peyton Manning won during the Patriots' reign.
Barely.
Whether it was barely or not, they won during that reign. Ben Roethlisberger won during that reign. Russell Wilson won during that reign. So it's not like it can't be done, right? What I'm saying is, if you look at the team that beat the Patriots, who did the Seahawks beat in the Super Bowl?
Patriots.
Okay, so when the Seahawks beat the Patriots, the Seahawks respectively were a dominant team. They had an all-time defense, right? If you look at Roethlisberger's team when they won, they were a great team, great defense, right? James Harrison. I think you were cheering for him that year. We came to your house. You know what I mean? Me and Keyshawn was rooting for the Cardinals that
we were
that
only
year.
two in the whole room.
Foolish.
I like Kurt Warner. I wanted to see him go out with one. You know
I think because we just came from Edinburgh and everybody was either from Philly and I hate everybody in Pennsylvania.
That's true too.
I was jaded.
But
I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah, but and then with Peyton Manning beating the Bears, and you know what I mean? Like, they those are quarterbacks that got through and did it while Brady was still in office. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, in today's NFL, it's not hard to find good receivers. It's not hard to find good defensive players. Like, the one thing that you need is a creative coach that can take players and put them in the right spots and get them to do things that they need to do to win. That's why the Chiefs can have the 26th ranked defense, but go into the playoffs and give people hard times defensively. Like, people weren't just scoring any which way that they wanted to against the Chiefs in the playoffs that year when the first Super Bowl they won. They just weren't. They weren't doing whatever they wanted to do. And the same thing for the Bengals. When they went and played against the Chiefs weren't just doing whatever they wanted. That was a tough game for them when the Bengals went to the Super Bowl. Why? Lou Anarumo didn't have amazing players on defense. He took a corner and put him on Travis Kelce, who was 6'3", 200 something pounds, that could not only keep up physically with Kelce, but could run with him. So you gotta understand how to use your players.
And I think that's where I'm going. I think that's my argument. Well, not so much that, but it's not the underdog mentality. It's not the identity, but it's just the energy that's given to this doesn't mean it. It doesn't do anything.
Right.
Like there's all it's gonna do is Josh Allen's gonna go out there and do the same thing he's been doing, run around the field, rack up, accolades, rack up stats, and he's gonna be great. But the thing is, like you said, we ain't won. We didn't win, so you're not gonna get the respect. Yeah. LeBron James said, "I guarantee he's at the top of the scouting report when they play Buffalo offensively." You're kidding. Who are they going to game plan for? Deion Dawkins? Who else is there?
Right. You know what? If I'm not mistaken, the Chiefs, and I'm going to check on this right now. The Chiefs with Alex Smith won 10 games 2 years before Mahomes became the starter. Mm-hmm. Right? They were, if I'm not mistaken, I'm about to check right now. The Chiefs were in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Right? So I guess I'm reacting to I'm reacting to a few of these because Laura's saying it's a tough choice starting over. I get that, and I hear a lot of people say that, and I think I don't want to speak for you. You correct me if I'm wrong. You guys don't want to start over either.
No, because I feel like the quickest way to the Super Bowl is with Sean McDermott, who we got right now. That's the quickest way.
But how can you say that given his performance?
Easy, right here. Boom. Name me the teams who've been to the playoffs in the last 5 years.
I can't do that. That's not fair.
Easy.
It's not for me. The Bills, Kansas City.
Who else?
Cincinnati.
Wrong. Who else?
Well, you said wait. What?
Last 5 years.
In the last 5 years.
Who's been to the Super Bowl?
You mean
playoffs consecutively in the last 5 years?
I didn't think you said consecutively. Okay.
Yeah.
So we got us, Kansas City.
Yep.
Baltimore?
Bills?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Just us in Kansas City?
Exactly. That's my point. So it's not that he's bad. Again, he's playing Kansas City like they're the top dogs. Like it. So you mentioned Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. How many Super Bowls that Peyton Manning got when Tom Brady was playing? He only got one. In all the years he's playing, he only got one. Yeah, he got it, but it took him a long time to get it because he couldn't beat him. We're only at 5. Like, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but we can get one from him. It just hasn't happened yet.
And and you saying that really makes me mad. This is why. I get
it, but like I said, didn't get him a show. Truth, whether it hurt or not, it's the truth.
No, I'm not mad at what you're saying. What I'm saying is,
what is facts? How many Super Bowls did Peyton Manning get when Tom Brady was playing?
You're saying that like the way you're bringing up that point, making that point is as if like that's okay. Like as long as we get one, it's okay. Like I'm with Keyshawn. I want multiple championships.
Everybody would like one, but again, can we be realistic? Like, is that gonna happen?
Well, one is not even realistic with this head coach.
Right. This is why it makes you mad. And I'll tell you, it's nothing you said. I would have been mad regardless. I didn't notice that, but who was McDermott been building his team to beat the whole time?
Kansas City,
right?
And that's what makes you mad. You can't figure it out yet. You can't. You've had all. You can't do it yet.
But Keith, to your point, they did the same thing with Kansas with the Colts. They was trying to beat New England for years, and they couldn't do it.
Well, see, New England was different because they just put a whole bunch of hobbits around town. Said, "Tom, do your work."
Listen, right. Again, we playing the shoe game. Bottom line is they couldn't beat them.
No,
they couldn't do it.
But
they finally got it.
I think the only difference with Kansas City and New England, and this isn't to incite anything, is the fact that New England did it multiple different ways.
Right.
True.
And Kansas City's like, we got Pat, we got Kelce, and you ain't doing a damn thing about it.
Right.
That's the thing that hurts me the most because McDermott put all these resources into these long defensive ends. And then
hold on. They kind of did it the same way.
What do you mean?
Brady, he did it the same way.
What do you mean?
Brady, Gronk, and Edelman.
Oh, no. I know.
The two he won before Gronk even got there was all defense.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is,
yeah.
What we're, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that's Gronk and Edelman. Like without them, like it wasn't happening.
Is there a team that has lost to another team as many times as we lost to Kansas City in a short span, like to that New England team though?
Colts did.
They did
Yeah,
to the same
It was. We've lost to the Chiefs. What four times? 3 times?
3 times.
Okay, well the Colts lost 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe
it just sucks because we're in it and we want them to win. Like I
think
get
it's
it.
only 3.
I get it. Like I'm pissed off too, but at the same time, like I don't know. I'm just realistic. Like I don't hope and wish and fairy tale. That's not me. I'm an analytics. I'm history. I'm facts. Is what it is.
What analytics tell you that Sean McDermott is going to get better in the playoffs?
What do you mean? Well, first of all, how does he keep going 5 years in a row? How does he keep doing it?
Well, I'll tell you because before it became difficult last year, and I think a lot of people like really missed this point.
The division.
The Bills had one of the easiest divisions in the entire NFL. So they were playing freaking trash cans twice a year. Six of their games were against trash cans.
Trash adjacent.
I'm sorry, trash adjacent cans, right? So when you're automatically gifted 6 wins and all you got to do is go out there and get 4 out of 16 weeks, all you got to do is go get 4 when you got 6 gifted to you.
So there's no other teams that are like that?
What do you mean no other teams?
That are gifted pretty much like there's in a crappy division and they gifted the
Chiefs have been there for a long time.
There's other teams too. Well,
but that's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is you're gauging Sean's success based on his regular season performance to extrapolate. Well, then please clarify.
I'm basing it on his playoff record. There's no all the coaches that are in the NFL right now. Only 2 coaches have been doing it consecutively for 5 years.
Josh's playoff record, not Sean's. If you look, okay, well then you said it yourself. The offense didn't lose any of those games, right? Okay, so who was in charge of the defense all those years?
But okay, so that Texans game that's not on Sean McDermott.
Why?
What did he do to lose that game?
We know how Sean was running the team.
He didn't make bad choices in that game. You just told me how we lost that game. It was 3 plays. None of those 3 plays got anything to do with Sean McDermott.
Bro, did the defense adjust in that game?
Yes, they in the overtime,
in the second half.
In the overtime, they had a 4th and 1 and they shut them down.
No. You can't take it to overtime without getting past the second half. In the second half, they gave up points.
Okay, so again, they lost those games based off of 3 plays: the penalty, the fumble, and the missed tackle. That's not on Sean.
Fine. If you want to take the Texans game off the table,
if you want to, I know you don't like Sean. I get it, but if you want to blame him from every little thing, you can't do that.
I'm not blaming him for every little thing. I'm blaming him for having terrible key decisions in games that cost us the game.
But Texans wasn't one of them.
Okay, that's fine. You can have the Texans game.
Okay.
What other ones you taking off the board?
What that the first Kansas City game? Our team was not good enough.
We're overmatched. Both of those games are off the board.
So
now,
the
last 3 years now.
So the only one I'm blaming Sean McDermott on is it's a 13-second game. That's it.
Why not last year?
You said it was the left tackle who ran into Josh. He missed thing and Bass missed the field goal. How's that on Sean?
So you don't think the fourth quarter the 4th down fake punt call?
The 4th down punt. What happened after that?
You tell me.
Exactly. The Chiefs had the ball. We had a fumble. We got the ball back.
Yeah,
so it didn't even do nothing. It didn't matter about the blunder. Who cares? We got the ball back.
Was that Sean McDermott on the field making that fumble happen?
No, but that one, yeah. The decision was Sean to do the fake punt.
Jay Poyo.
That was his decision.
Okay.
But again, it didn't cost him. It didn't cost us the game.
All of that is semantics as a whole. It really is, because if we're talking about the person in charge of the whole team, right? You don't look at head coach and the team loses and say, well, the head coach didn't have nothing to do with it. You don't say that.
It depends on how the game was lost.
No, you like that.
Aramis, that makes no sense, bro. If I'm coaching the team and I'm giving them the plays and they don't execute the plays, how is that on me?
So if I have a business, right?
Hold on. Just answer my question. How is that on me?
No. We ain't going that route because you.
All right. Well, I'm not going to answer your question.
Okay. Well,
so
I'll put it like this.
So it's a moot point.
If I have a business, and I hire a manager to run a department, and the manager is in charge of getting me 1 new client a month, and we go 3 months in a row, and I don't get a new client, and I go to this manager and I say, "What's the problem?" And the manager says to me, "Well, it was these 2 guys over in the back corner screwing around and they weren't doing what they're supposed to do. And that's why we didn't get clients." I'm gonna look at the manager and say, yo, who's in charge of those guys? It's you. So all of this, hoopla about who specifically was responsible for that? It's Sean's show. The owner said that. It's Sean's show. So if it's Sean's show and Sean gets to establish the culture that determines what players we draft and what players we sign, then Sean takes the entire responsibility for everything. He's the first person to get up there and say, it starts with me. So if he's the first person to say it starts with me, then guess what? It ends with him too.
Okay, so Key, if we're playing basketball and there's one shot left, I draw up the play and the guy's wide open. The play works. The defense crashes here. He's wide open. He missed a shot. Is that on me? Or is it on a player who missed a shot? Thank you.
All right, so final. We wanted to get into the 53. I know we did want to do that. So
Buffalo Joe.
Oh God,
Buffalo Joe, baby.
And I'm not mad about it. Final thoughts on this year. We are good. Get the 53. The 5-3.
No
more 5-3.
Wait,
53-man roster.
Why?
Don't you want to talk about who made it, who didn't, and
not at all.
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
I do. So I guess you answer this question because the whole thing's gonna be McDermott. No. So who made it that scratched your head? That made you scratch your head? Anybody that comes to mind? You're like, what was that?
I'm mad that Hardy didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was gonna make it for sure.
Because I got that. That's the next question.
I thought he was gonna make it for sure.
That's the next question. Oh, I'm going into that. You
Yeah.
hold tight on that one. Yeah.
I would have preferred Davison to make it over Quentin.
Of course you would.
You know what I'm saying? I was hoping he would make it. Who else?
But who made it though that you were like, how?
I hate to say it. MVS.
But we all agree he was gonna make it. You knew
Shaver should have made over him.
You knew, and I told you why. And I hated my guts for
this
it.
is why I
But
try
Shaver
not to
should've
have
made
hope.
it.
Because that to me is ridiculous.
Shaver should have made over him.
Is that your
100%.
answer? Oh,
Like the fact that
I'd have
Shaver's
kept
is
Hamler
on the
over
crank,
him.
like I would
Would
be
you?
insulted.
I would have kept him over MBS. He would have been. He was like, I would have kept Deion. You know, you get the point. So
Deion over.
You get the point. And I said last show on record, there's just a preseason players on Deion Kane, but that MVS did nothing. I mean, when he got a chance to do it, he did nothing. But for me, who made me scratch my head? Casey Toole.
Yeah.
Now this is the rationale behind it. I don't know if you guys heard it, and people at home, you probably heard it too. But they kept him for special teams because of kickoffs, because his length. Now let me draw your attention to this. What is this based on? Preseason? I think not. You know why? He had one special teams play the whole preseason. One. Guess what? Guess who didn't make it?
Who?
Chukwuemeka Jonathan. Kingsley Jonathan.
Bro, he is right where he belongs.
He had 29 preseason special team snaps.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually bigger than Casey Toole.
Mm-hmm.
Casey Toole played horrible at the defensive end position on what was that, last Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Last Saturday. It was horrible. Guess who else played? 30 preseason special team snaps. Javon Solomon, two special teams tackles. So you couldn't use that Casey Toole position on somebody else somewhere. You couldn't kept that fifth wide receiver. But this is where I'm at with it. You want your depth pieces to be able to play special teams. I guess that's what they preach to us, right? Your depth piece. So what is Javon Solomon?
Right.
Is he not going to play special teams?
Right.
He did it in preseason.
Right.
What did you keep Toole for? I don't even know. I don't even care what his contract was.
You know what's funny too? When I looked at the 53, guess what they got Von listed as?
Linebacker.
Well, he's always been listed as a linebacker.
But is that why they got an extra D in? Because we know where he gonna play. He gonna play the edge.
They had him behind. They had him as a 2 behind Epinesa before.
Really?
They had him as a 2 behind Epinesa, so I think that's defensive end. But
yeah,
it's semantics.
I guarantee it's an experience thing. Hill has more actual game experience than Kingsley Jonathan.
You almost said it.
That's the text I seen you that he's got production in the NFL.
Well, see,
right.
I get the production piece if it was true in Buffalo.
Right.
Kingsley Jonathan has what are we screaming for on the defensive side? Obviously, I'm screaming for another safety by Scene. I'm over the moon that we got Scene in the building. Over the moon that we got him in the building. I don't even care if he's on the 53. Okay. I didn't know he had ties to a die. He was sought after. He was tentatively signing with the Jets. Then the Bills called. And he said, "Nah, fly to turn his plane around. I'm going over there.
Yep.
So Adai has done wonders with Elam, with I guess now Hamlin. Seen has history with him. So I'm like, yo, who do we hire to be our secondaries coach?
Wasn't he a first round pick too? Like
He was
like
30. He was
32,
Kyrie
right?
Elam. He was right behind Kyrie Elam.
The Scene signing was a little insulting to me, though.
Why is that?
And not because I have anything against Scene. I personally don't know him, but you the press release on him was Bill signed former first round pick, whatever Scene, right? And I'm looking at this and I'm like, they sound so proud to have a former first round pick
I get it.
on their practice squad, right? Meanwhile, you got Kyrie Elam over here busting his ass.
Yeah.
You know, excuse my language.
Uncle. No,
Like,
I'm joking.
like that to me is like, how dare you? How dare you put out that kind of press release and accent the first? Because they didn't have to say former first round pick.
I know.
They could have just said they signed former Viking safety and been done with the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that to me was like, yo, like you're propping this dude up who's going on your practice squad anyway, right? He's not even getting a wait, actually, is he?
What?
They signed him to the practice squad?
For now. I think it's one of those deals where they're going to sign him and try to put him up. I think so.
Well, that depends because Mike Edwards is practicing now. So
he was practicing before. That's the sad part about it. He was on the field on Saturday.
I mean, if he ends up starting,
I'm over it. I just want him over it. You see, I didn't put no wings on it, right? I'm over it.
I get it. I'm just saying. I think that closes the door on anybody else because you're looking at Cole Bishop, who's getting ready to come back soon. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I just don't see any space for him.
No, I was going to oppose you and say, you know, the free safety. You actually your point from a previous show actually makes more sense for this to happen now, because normally your free safety is your over the top, middle, you know, your center fielder. Cena's not that.
He's a hitter.
He's a hitter. Now he's fast too, big fast hitter. Aramis is kind of his dream. 6'2", 200 pounds.
My wet dream.
Bust you up. Yeah, that's him. But no, this is the thing. When Aramis said they don't build their teams to have that middle center field rover.
Right.
They want the two dudes that can be interchangeable in the box.
Right.
What do they have? And they love Taylor Rapp, right? They want that guy that can be in the box.
Yeah.
And that's what. And people surmise that Scene was not on the scene, pun intended, in Minnesota because of Flores. He said Flores' defense didn't work for him. What he was asking him to do had nothing to do with what his skill set was. So in Buffalo with Jamil Adai, I'm sorry, we're gonna get these names all right. Is he's got a familiarity, so he knows what he's getting into.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously he said, this is how we run it, this is what we do. Are you interested? Yeah, sign me up, I'm coming. So that gives me insight into say, okay, is it Scene or Hamlin?
Mm.
Is it Scene or or Kareem Jackson? Because I thought Kareem Jackson was going to be in the team to be boosted up at some point.
Do you think it's Scene getting a shot next year? Like as an actual starter.
And this is the kick. Who do we have on the roster next year at safety? I shall wait.
Cole Bishop. That's it.
That's it. Just Cole, right?
Yeah.
No, there's one more.
Hamlin?
No.
Cam Lewis.
Yeah, Cam Lewis, right?
What?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yep.
Scene is 25, I want to say. 26 next year. He hasn't played but 10 games. You can get him at that McDermott special.
No doubt.
You can get him at that. He ain't gonna be asking because he got no tape.
Right.
Guess what? Come on the board.
Yeah, that's what they like, and he'll have been in the system for a full year.
He might be able to take that starter spot too, especially if he depending on the impact he make this year.
Yeah,
if you know, like somebody's gonna get hurt.
Yeah,
hopefully it's not like long term, but it's gonna happen.
It's bound
but
to
he
happen.
said like the other safeties would have to play terribly for him to get a shot this year though. Like we're still talking about a young player in the first year of this defense. Like Sean is very picky about who he lets just come in and play first year, especially on defense. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Right. So knowing that, it's like, okay, if it's playoffs and all the other safeties are hurt and he's got to go in, or if let's say we get to Cole Bishop and Cole Bishop just doesn't get it, but Scene looks like he's doing well. They might give him a shot. You know what I mean? But I can't imagine Scene getting a chance to play in front of anybody else at this point. At least not for the first, I'll say 10 weeks. I think 10 weeks is enough time to get the defense down and have enough practice time in it to be able to go out there.
There's no rush.
Right.
I think we have enough in front of them that we can feel relatively confident. Like I said before the whole hope about Mike Edwards, I did say he's that player that I think is going to be the one. It's like I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, all right. I don't want to give it to him, but I think he's going to be that guy. Objectively speaking,
do you feel like without seeing out of the picture, like our 4 safeties who we got? Do you feel confident that they're not going to get beat? Like when we play like teams like Houston, we play teams like Detroit, like who got that pass heavy team. Do you think that they're going to hold up well, like McDermott's normally do with pass defense?
I think
Hayden Porter is gone, man.
I think it's going to be interesting because I think they're going to be the kind of team that has to warm up. They don't have that chemistry like we had in all those years before, and people are expecting it to be plug and play. And the thing is, they don't understand the dynamic of the safeties on the cornerbacks. They don't understand the dynamic of bracket. They don't understand what Hyde and Poyer did that you didn't see unless you knew what you were looking at. You didn't see them over top, cutting people up. You didn't see the intellect to know this is where the ball is going because I've seen it a million times. I played this a million times. We don't have that now. And that's the experience of people that they're like, oh, we got to get younger. We got to get younger, but you said that last year when you had Hyde and Poyer still here.
Right.
They're like, oh, we got Taylor Rapp on the team. We had him last year. We got DeMar Hamlin. Guess what? They were afterthoughts last year.
Yep.
They were break glass in case of emergency last year. This year, they're starters, unless Mike Edwards can pull through. And even then, it's going to be between Hamlin and Edwards. I don't know which one. In the practice, we got to whoever practicing better is the one that's going to be the starter.
Yeah, we've ignored a lot of comments. I'm going to apologize for that first and foremost.
Just so I know I can't see them, so I'm solved. No, I'm joking.
But I want to read these two. Lindsay says, best podcast ever. It's good to agree to disagree. Total realism. And then Laura says, I'd like to take a moment to say how great it is that Post Podium podcast can disagree and still love and respect each other the best.
And somebody's still going to dislike this freaking. No, I'm joking.
No, I mean, like I think for us, it's just, it's
how we are.
Yeah, no doubt. 100%. But I do want to say, I think, where we are now in terms of our ability to talk football. I mean, I can't imagine us doing this, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Nah,
we'd be at each other's throats.
What I'm doing with this is furniture moving up in here.
But yeah, these my brothers, man. Ain't nothing coming in between that.
We've been knowing each other for a long time.
Yeah,
we went into
a long time.
I realized I've known you for 21 years, and I've known you for 17.
It's been 21.
21, dog. I was 19.
Yeah. Lindsay says at this point the safety position is the most questionable.
Yeah, because you don't know what you're gonna get.
That to me, it's the most questionable. But I still have reserves about the defensive ends. Not even a D-line, defensive ends, because we haven't seen push. We haven't seen anybody get to the quarterback. And I know everybody says, but I really have blind faith that Von Miller is going to either do it himself or push somebody else to do it, because we didn't see any in except for Jonathan, Solomon, and Klein. Those were the 3 that really got home in the preseason, and they're pretty much 2 of the 3 are gone.
See, here's where the dynamic shifts, because I'm looking at this defense and I'm saying, like, I don't think I need to worry about the defense looking bad. I think one of the things that I can praise Sean for is the defense is never going to look terrible.
Right.
It's just not. He's always been, especially in the secondary. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm not really worried about the safeties. Like,
Rich, you still watching? Rich, you still watching?
I know. He probably
gone.
Down
You
a
missed
long time ago. But like, that's one of those things where it's like, I know I can count on Sean because I've seen it even before he got here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if anything, and we've said this, and I think a lot of people, in national media would agree, the defense is going to carry this team this year. It just is. So. And the hope is that the offense becomes as dangerous as they need to be in order to pair well with the way the defense plays. You know what I mean? Like I said before, I think the run defense is going to be much better with the safeties we have.
Right.
They're all better against the run than who we had. Mine is Jordan Poyer, but I mean, like, as a whole.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, do I think it's the most questionable? Honestly, I think linebacker is the most questionable at this point.
Yeah, because we know Milano's not going to be there.
Yeah.
So we got Bernard and who?
I don't. You said it. I don't like Williams in his defense.
Yeah,
I don't,
because we can't trust them, dude.
He can't cover.
Right
now, if it was like you said 3-4, we could rush or just plug gaps.
But now here's what's going to happen though, because he can't cover, he's going to make the safeties look bad, and they're going to say the safety's the problem when it's really him.
Or he could make Bernard look bad too. Because you saw it when Deion Jones and Andreessen were playing. They weren't in sync.
Right. And
Andreessen, being new, you're supposed to lean on the guy next to you to make the right call or do the right thing. And I'm running over here because my guy's here. You didn't take the pass off on the zone, where I'm chasing the running back and you're going over here in the no man's land. Or there were instances where there were gaps vacated by Deion Jones because he slips and falls or whatever the case may be. And Andreessen, they're like, oh, it was on him. It wasn't on him. But what it was there was nobody else in the scene. There was nobody else in the screen. It was just him. So let's blame him because that's all we see.
Yeah. So
I'm worried, like you said, I'm worried about the linebackers to a degree. I think the number 2 linebacker, I would say, because Bernard is obviously number 1.
Right.
Number 2.
Weak side.
Well, the reason I say number 2 because they're all almost androgynous, if you will. They're all almost interchangeable with the exception
can't
of
cover either though.
He's better than Williams. He's better than Williams. Everybody's
literally everybody.
I want to see him. I want to see him next to Bernard, and that's why I wish I would have got to see him starting with and see him play with somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yeah,
so because he was making the calls.
What's funny? Like, are we about to see a Tyrell Dodson movement now, where like whoever plays next to Tyrell,
he's better. I don't know why. He's just better.
The contract he got with Seattle. I mean, that defense is going to be good just on the basis of Mike McDonald taking that thing over. But they were already a pretty good defense before. But if Dotson plays well over there, then I'll with all confidence say, you know what, he actually stepped his game up because we know him from before when he wasn't anything.
Yeah. We knew him before we made fun of 2-5. Right. We called it when we first started 2-5. We ain't name him.
Right. But what do you guys think about this? Lindsay says which Von Miller will show up is another question.
I don't think it's going to be. I think based off of last year, it's going to be improvement because he did absolutely nothing last year. But I don't know if it's going to bring like Von's first year. I don't know.
So. I think 35. That's pretty much the curtain calls on that.
Yeah.
I think the curtain calls on that one. But I do think he can be functional and. At the very least, he can push Epinesa to do more. Soften up the blow, if you will, because obviously if they're going to platoon people like they do on the defensive line all the time, he can get that what is that? The left tackle gassed. Maybe Epinesa can come in and run through him. Or Solomon can come and run through him. People,
I never thought about that.
What's that?
It's interchanging the defensive lineman to. Like make because think about it, the tackles never sub out,
right?
So if that dude is gassed and like he's tired or he's going against a strong dude, now you hit him the fast. So I never thought about that.
Yeah, and that's that play. I think that's what they were trying to do, but the problem was they just didn't assemble the right pieces because they gave you Epinesa and Rousseau, which pretty much at the time were the same guy.
Right.
They never gave you that speed demon on this side and that stalwart that was unmovable on this side. Yeah. So I think that's my biggest indictment on how they've been drafting. They never gave us that young fast guy. Now we got Solomon who has a motor, who's low to the ground, who has a twitch and strength. So I want to see how they use him.
Yeah. Bill's Fever says the old and battered Von is who will be showing up.
Von.
I mean, what's funny about that is this: when Von first got here, everybody was like, he's old, right? So
right.
you only gonna play him a few downs here and there per game, right? And Bean was like, no, we gonna play him every down, right?
Yeah.
And the same face you made at me when we were talking about the Chiefs playoff game, people walked away from that saying like, you know what he's doing? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like that was the look that people were making, and now here we are, where we have a defensive line that, I mean, to some degree is kind of like it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because he's 35. He's not going to be very much, next year and the year after to begin with. So just freaking play him until he dies. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to kill you.
And that's why I couldn't understand why they didn't work him out in the preseason. And the thing, what McDermott said really drove me off the edge. And I haven't listened to press conferences right yet. I will when the season starts. But when he said, no, was it Bean? One of the two. They said, well, we didn't plan on playing him in the preseason, but we had a very hard scrimmage against Pittsburgh in the. I'm like, a very hard scrimmage? That has nothing to do with the game that we'll be playing on Sunday. It's the stuff they say is like, it was wrong, but you want to pump it up like it's right. So we'll be like, oh, hey, he was there. He did his thing. Because guess what? They always say Von Miller was beating everybody off the line in practice.
Sure he was.
They're not hitting.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to really try to take somebody's head off.
Right. They're not going full speed.
They're not going for his knees. They're not going for any, and that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna test that knee. Trust me, I know. They're gonna dive at it. They're gonna do whatever they can to try to twerk that leg.
But I think so. This is one thing that just occurred to me, and it's based off of this comment by Sinke. He says, "Is Ed and Rue gonna get to the QB in dire times?" Right, but it triggered this thought. Do you think that adding Austin Johnson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that adding Austin Johnson could be the most underrated move this entire season,
on
right?
D-line or
on D-line?
Oh, yeah.
And from this standpoint, right? Yeah. Because if you think about what DaQuan Jones has meant to this defensive line as far as what he opens up for Oliver, right? Then you add another guy like who can do the same thing like a DaQuan Jones and an Austin Johnson. Now you have 2 1-techs that you can throw out there. If Ed ain't tired, he can go nonstop now. There is no, man, our 1-tech ain't out there, so now we got to throw 2 3-techs at him and hope they can both get through.
Right.
Now you just nonstop 1-techs, opening up everything for Ed. You can throw Dwayne Carter out there to rush the passer. You know what I'm saying? There's this. You can see this kind of wheel developing now where it's a rotation that should be effective versus what they were doing before.
And you got to look at practice squad. They got Branson Dean. He's another 1-tech.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they finally heard my prayers. 1-tech. Thank you. Thank you, God.
So with Austin Johnson, can he do both?
Yeah, he can do 3 and 2.
Run stuffer and
pass.
He's not as good a pass rusher as DaQuan Jones is,
but he's adequate.
Yeah,
he's adequate. I was shocked. I didn't think much of him because it was one of those Von Miller things where DaQuan Jones went on and got him and brought him in. And I'm like, would y'all start with this nonsense? Mine ain't brought in nobody yet. Even Elianku brought somebody in, but whatever. Yeah, I mean,
DaQuan Jones seems to have good buddies.
he's got buddies there.
He's got the right buddies.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think we want to land on this just for a second because you touched on it. The question was, who didn't we keep that you were like, I just don't understand? Now, your answer was Daquan Hardy. I'm guessing, are you saying the same or no? Different person that we didn't keep that you thought was sure on the team?
Let me look at who we had, who we cut. It's pretty much everybody that's on the practice squad.
As always.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened? We got everybody we wanted on the practice squad, like nobody got picked up for waivers.
This is the first year that's
the first time.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Almost nobody moved anywhere. I think they said like 2 people got picked up and 2 people are still free agents, not from the Bills, but just draft wide from 2024.
For me, it was Kareem Jackson. I was actually shocked at how they treated him as a whole. You know, I've especially people in the comments, people have, commented and people have, told me, he's still got juice in the tank.
Oh yeah. I said the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? So when you have a safety with that kind of experience and plays like a Jordan Poyer, why wouldn't you want that starting? Why wouldn't you want that leadership? You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I guess I kind of just answered my own question. I think it has to be something to do with not trusting his leadership, right? Because if you're going to sit here and tell me that you trust Taylor Rapp's leadership, but you don't trust the guy who has been one of the best safeties. Exactly. So it's got to be, is this guy buying into this coach's culture that we have in the building now? But yeah, Kareem Jackson. I mean, obviously we talked about Tyrell Shavers. I think that's it. Everybody else, I really didn't expect to keep. I had hoped Keaton Bills would, garner some more because I was looking forward to a Keaton Bills
You
jersey.
just want to see open the Bills jersey, literally.
But I mean, it is what it is, and I understand that. But at least he's on the practice squad.
I think Daquan Jones fits in with the KC2 whole point I made earlier. Are we overvaluing the special teams? Because you look at it like this. This is my point. Daquan Hardy was brought in. He was drafted to be a kick returner, right? He got in there. He excels not only at slot, but at outside, where this guy's making waves. He looks good.
Well, you know why he got cut, right?
I was going to get to that.
Oh, okay.
Got cut because of his decision making on kicks,
which is stupid.
Oh, you didn't know that? Dude, I was holding
this
in my chest. I was holding this in my chest the whole time.
They wanted. This is why I said they wanted him to make certain specific decisions, and when you don't do that, you don't get on the field.
So that tells me he had no shot of being a cornerback. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know this?
Yeah, bro.
Dude, why do you think I was on fire that night? I was at the gate about to meet a plane. I was texting you. I was on fire.
How is he supposed to make good decisions? Is this the first time in the NFL is even happening? He never trained for this. He never practiced for this.
But like this, let me explain something else to you. On kickoffs, you know what happens when you field the ball when you call fair catch inside the 5 in college?
What?
It's a touchback.
Inside the 5?
Inside the 5, it's a touchback.
So you have to run it out.
In the pros. But in college, if you fair catch the ball inside the 5, it's a touchback. That's crazy. So my immediate thought after the first preseason game when he did what he did, I was a return man in college. I'm not thinking touchback. I always do this.
Right.
What do you mean I get the ball in the 5? Oh well. I learned. But the thing is, above and beyond that, this is what really took me over. They signed what's his name? Brandon Codrington.
Mm-hmm. No, they traded for this dude like that.
Let me land here because you're gonna love this. Because I'm gonna rant here. You swapped a 6th-round draft pick for an undrafted free agent this year when you use a 6th-round draft pick for a kick return man, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does that tell you? He was probably going to get cut. You could have signed him like you did all the other. I'm not going to say it. I'm sorry. All the other guys on the team. Or you could have waited for the Jets to cut him and scoop him up. He wasn't even on their team.
Why go for the trade?
Can I go even further? Do you know what he did in the preseason this year?
What did he do?
He had to do something good. They traded for this dude, man.
No. If he's making that face,
don't tell me that, Key. Come on.
He had 6 punt returns for 89 yards. It's 14.6 a return. Big deal. The average is like 9.
Okay, so he's above average.
He had 4 fair catches. 2 kick returns for 75 yards. One was a 63-yarder.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Wait.
I'll take that.
One was a 63-yarder.
Bill's Fever thinks you're overreacting. He says Hardy's still on the practice squad, so it's not as if he's gone.
Bill. It's Bill, right?
No, Bill's Fever.
Bill's Fever. Let me land. I am not over. This is I'm trying to land real smooth now because I'm about to come in real rough. He had 2 for 63. That sounds good. 2 for 75. One was 63 yards. That means the other one was 12.
12, yeah.
So his average is 37.5, exaggerated.
It's skewed.
Right. Now, I looked at his collegiate numbers. Matter of fact, let me land here. You know what his 40 time was? He ran
5.
He ran at the HBCU.
So it's probably a 4.6.
Push the button. Ding, 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 ding. 4.59.
4.59.
There you go. Mr. Speedy. Brandon Codrington, and I'm not piling on him. I promise you I'm not. But this is what I don't understand. In college, he had a career 18.2 yard per return average on kicks. 18.2. Punt returns, career 14.2. What about this guy you had to trade or swap picks for an undrafted free agent in this same year? You slept on him, and you say, you know what? He didn't do anything, but I think maybe he can. Let me just go ahead and get rid of the guy that can do the same thing that he did and play cornerback. Because guess how many snaps that Mr. Codrington got at cornerback? He got about 70 in preseason.
Okay,
right.
Outside or slot?
Slot.
Okay.
Only slot. Nothing else.
Oh.
Nothing else.
So the guy that they drafted
about to-
because he played nickel, they brought him in and put him outside and kick returner. Both two things. But then they go and trade for this guy who has only played nickel, and they bring him in as a kick returner, and he's never going to play it down at corner.
That makes no sense, man. That really don't make sense.
It makes zero. And this is the point I'm trying to make. When I text you and you said he's a kick returner, I'm like, I don't know anything about this guy. Let me meet this playing person. Then I didn't have a chance to look it up.
This is one of those ultimate arrogance like instances for Sean McDermott or whoever. I don't know if you want to say it's Brandon Beane, you can say whoever, but like this is one of those moments that you can point to and be like, who do you think you are?
I ain't done yet.
Okay, go ahead.
They doubled down. What did they do? Nobody. They signed Tyler Virgil?
Oh, the wide receiver.
Yeah. The wide receiver.
Yeah, who's also a returner.
Also a returner.
He's a gadget guy and a returner.
Same numbers as Codrington in the pros.
Wow.
The same exact numbers.
Wow.
And he's on the practice squad. You could have used that 6 to package it somewhere else. You had to have this Codrington dude, and you had to put him on your 53. You couldn't have kept KJ Hamler for that.
No.
Yeah,
that would make no sense because he was a good wide receiver.
That would make
and
sense.
He was a running back. No.
Right.
I know this is like when I first saw it in my end, whatever. I didn't think nothing of it, but now when you putting the clues together, like it's really pissing me off because it really does not make any sense whatsoever.
It does.
Like they could just, if they wanted him so bad, why didn't they just claim him off of waivers?
Exactly, because they didn't know anything about him. And the thing is, you're telling me now that we saw something from him. You didn't,
and we didn't play the Jets in the preseason, right?
No.
Nor do we have a practice with him. So. Did somebody call? Be like, yo, check out this dude.
They
right
saw
here.
that one kick return where he made everybody miss and ran it for 63 yards. And they played it on repeat and said, "Oh, we need a guy that can do that."
Yeah. The other part of it too is they didn't have the confidence that they would be able to get him on waivers. You know what I mean? If there were other teams that needed a kick return, like that's the only reason you in that situation you make a trade for a guy like that.
I mean, that's true. But Booth. He's who?
Mad late.
Yeah, I didn't know you were really going to do it.
Yeah, sorry. Bills Fever. So, Bills Fever. I need to preface before I say this because you commented. You're part of the family now. That's how we work.
That's how it works.
As soon as you comment or like or subscribe with it, you're part of the family. But now that you're part of the family, I can talk to you like.
Wait. If he didn't subscribe, you can't slander him.
Well, he's not slandering.
Okay.
He's not. He said he's talking about Hardy. Hardy can go to the practice squad and learn, and we'll see him when he's ready, when he's needed or ready.
If he makes it through the whole season, I'd be surprised.
Yo.
Who, Codrington or Hardy?
No, Hardy on the practice squad. If he makes it without getting poached, I'd be shocked.
But my point is, who have we ever seen on the Bills practice squad just get brought up and like it was like the practice squad was a farm team, and they pat the guy on the back and they say, you know what? You made the 53. You earned your spot. You're on the team now.
Right. I can only name one. That's it. Fred Jackson.
That's it.
Yeah.
He's the only one.
We've never seen that.
That is it.
Him.
I have never ever.
Yeah.
So that's like that. That's why I'm looking at this situation. Like, yo, if you and Tyrell Savers will tell you, if you go on the practice squad, you're doomed. Like that's it. You're not getting off the practice squad during the season. That doesn't happen.
Hey, my name, mama got to get hurt.
Yeah. Bills Fever says literally costs nothing. If the Jets have a better record than us in 2025, then it wouldn't even matter. Well, then why even play the games?
It still matters though.
What was the comment?
He said if
he said
go ahead, I'm sorry.
He said literally costs nothing. If the Jets have a better record than us in 2025, then it wouldn't even matter.
It's not about the record. It's not about the draft pick per se. It's just about the decision.
Well, he's talking about the swap of 6th-round picks.
That's what I'm saying. It's not even about that for me. It's about the decision.
Right.
It's about the fact that you drafted, you invested capital
into
a guy to do something.
Right.
He does not what he did in college. He goes and plays outside of the position where we're at in flux right now.
And actually does well.
Does excellent. We're in flux at corner. We don't have a cesspool of cornerbacks. I don't know we don't have all these cornerbacks people think. To Corey Couch, practice squad.
Right.
Kenny Lovely, not even here.
Yep.
I mean, look at it. Kendall Williamson, not here. But you go ahead and get a guy who can play against starters, who can play against number twos, and hold up in a position he hasn't done, but you draft him solely to be a kick return man, solely to do this one thing.
Right.
That's not what he's not an athlete. Like when you come out of high school to college, you
Right.
become an athlete when they don't know where they can put you.
Right.
He's a cornerback. You drafted him as such. If you didn't want to be a cornerback, guess where you get your kick return man? Where the Jets got Codrington. Undrafted free agent. Let me get the fast guy. Let me get somebody from the HBCU that can do this.
Right.
There's plenty of them. But instead, you want to draft a guy and ignore the fact that he has 20 years of experience doing this one thing that he actually is good at, that we didn't expect him to be good at. Ignore that. Get somebody else in his position to do the same thing. A smaller guy.
Right.
Do you think he lasts a year, Codrington?
In Buffalo as a kick return man?
Yeah.
As long as he does what Sean wants him to do.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as he don't try to play cornerback, he's straight.
Right. Right.
I can see this going bad, and then you really gonna be pissed off because then we just wasted a draft.
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
I'm already pissed off, so it's all good.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He comes in, he fumbles, he sucks. We cut him. We wasted. What was the point?
There was no point.
What was the point?
Right.
Yeah.
And then they give it to Hardy anyway.
Like, what was that all about?
Tibonius leg.
Mirror, 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 mirror.
What's going on, bro? Chris, I saw your comment earlier. What's going on, Chris?
That's all he gets?
I know. But when you got a name like this, you want the horn, you got to come up with a name better than Tibonius, bro. This is what it is. I'm sorry. Them's the breaks. My man T-Bone, he says, as someone who lives in Durham and a fan of NCCU, I was happy for Codrington for that run.
Okay.
But hearing that we traded for him did make me scratch my head on why. But now after hearing Key, I don't know, man.
Keep putting everybody in perspective.
So
Like,
it's
it
like,
makes no
yeah.
sense.
I mean, the thing is, like, I'm not saying he's not good.
Right.
But the fact is, he was up for grabs.
Right. And you traded for him.
You traded for him after he was going to get cut. Because guess what? I looked at the draft. He's not even their kick return man.
Nah.
It's Xavier Gibson. That's their kick return. They're starting slot man as their kick return guy, and he's their starting kick and punt return man now. This guy got two kick returns in a league where you have to return the kick now. One was 63 yards, one was 12.
So that's exactly what happened. They saw the 63, like, oh yeah, we can use this. So
Look at that speed, that 4.59 speed. He's almost as fast as Devin Singletary. Get him. We have to have this guy. I mean, he's like, I think, what was it? Was it? No, I think McKenzie was faster. He was like a 4.46 or something like that. But the point is one of those deals where he's quicker than fast.
Mhm.
So he's shifty. He can make you miss, and that's what they love. He can make you miss. But where's the speed? They always laud you with speed. There ain't no speed.
Yeah.
What you guys? You
I'm sorry, this got me cracking up. Sinke said Hardy played better in man covers than Elam. So Sean didn't like that.
That's right. That's right. If I start him, if I play him, then I got to play you, but you ain't playing, so you can't be on the team. What do I do here? Cut him off. I don't know.
Sean's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? 5 is over there. What are you doing? What are you doing? Be smart, Hardy. You can't play better than 5. What are you thinking?
So yeah, I mean, I'm not going in on the player himself. It's just a decision, and that's what the Bills fever where I was going with. It's not the player.
Right.
It's not the capital. It's the mind state that this guy wasn't even drafted. You give capital for somebody that you could have had,
right, for free.
and they do this for free.
For free.
And I mean, look at it like this. You figure, who was it? Scene just said, I'd rather go to the Bills than the Jets. And guess what this dude came from?
Right.
The Jets. You mean to tell me the Bills didn't say, we don't have anything here. We need a kick return man?
Which that's kind of weird to me.
What's that?
I'm gonna be just very subjective. The Jets defense is better than ours, I think.
Well, he knew he wasn't going to get on the team. That's why.
Oh,
That's probably, or not get on the field. That's probably why.
I'm like, if I play defense and they better, why would I want to go to the Bills? And I'd rather go to the Jets.
Yeah, he saw that the Bills have Cam Lewis
Probably
and Taylor Rapp.
I probably could beat them dudes to start.
Yeah, and I don't think we have Taylor Rapp next year. I think Taylor Rapp,
No,
he's this year and then two voidable. They can get out of the contract.
Correct.
So technically,
Yeah. But that should be a clear indicator if a former first round pick gets cut and wants to come to your team. You might be bad.
You might be pretty bad.
You might not be as good as you think you
Right,
are.
don't
'Cause
smell
that
yourself
guy
just
thinks he
yet.
can make your squad.
Don't smell yourself just yet because it's not what it seems. But yeah,
Right.
no, I think to the point of Codrington and even Virgil. Virgil I get too, because like we started off, the wide receiver room isn't horrible, but it's not a team I can't make the team on.
Right.
You know, they're good, and I got the speed they don't have, because he ran a 4.41 or something like that. He's 6'1", 210. So he's got size.
Ooh.
He's a younger guy too, and so he's a kick return man. He's got the size that Codrington doesn't.
You got his wide receiver stats by any chance?
College or pro? But I don't think he has many pro stats at all. I can get his college
in college.
Hold on 1 second here.
When you listed off his measurables and his speed, you intrigued me there.
He went to Appalachian State. That's where he went with Darrington Evans. They were teammates.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. I remember reading that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But no, I think for the sake of the team, just having that person that can take the top off.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not MVS, which I hope it's not, you know, I'd be more akin to it being Samuel, which I don't think Samuel does that. But I think he's gonna be that. I think he's gonna be that yak kind of guy.
Speaking of MVS,
is
he still fast? Because he didn't. When I saw him play, like
MVS,
is he still fast?
So what most teams have said in scouting him right up until last year is the last 2 years he seems to have lost a step. It's one of the reasons why the Packers didn't re-sign him. They when you look at his speed, it's like Gabe Davis's speed. It's a long stride speed. It's not quick twitch. So the routes that they'll probably be having him run when he's on the field is a lot of the same Gabe Davis stuff that they used to do. It's the clear out routes. Take the safeties away from, you know, the underneath route, you know. And I think most of that is going to get done whenever Shakir runs those deep crossers, you know, to the opposite sideline. So
So our speed guys are Samuel and Shakir, pretty much.
Yep. Yeah.
If
If you're talking about like get the ball and make people miss and get down it, it's just them. That's it.
Let me see, and I don't, and neither one of them is really got speed, but they don't do the speed thing per se.
Right.
That's not their
Right.
dig. Their dig is to work over the middle, work the short stuff, make it long. Which is what you want them to do, but we need somebody that's going to be able to be a threat to go down there.
We need that yak too.
Yeah. I mean, Shakir has shown he could do a little bit of that.
Yeah,
you know, but Samuel is more like both of them catch the ball, which is what we need. Like I was looking at, remember the last episode we talked about that video that somebody put out where they showed like all the catches that receivers dropped in that playoff game against the Chiefs. That's like if you know the Bills like we know the Bills, every season they look at what killed them and they try to fix it for the next season. You know what I mean? They go super hard the next season trying to fix the one thing they did wrong the season before, to the extent that they kind of leave everything else out. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, what killed us? Okay, we're gonna fit. And the part that's frustrating about that is every season is a different season. So what that means is every team you're gonna face is a different team.
right.
They're not gonna. They may not attack you the same way they attacked you last year. They may not try to capitalize on the same matchups as they did last year because the players that they used to do that might not even be there. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, what to a degree, you've got to self-scout better, right? But it's hard to do that when your circle is so small. And Sean has made his circle so small, it's almost impossible for him to get the right information that he doesn't derive himself from watching tape. You know what I mean? It's like, who else is giving him the information and scouting information on where they really messed up aside from him and maybe some of the other coaches in the building? You know what I mean? But, you know.
Yeah, to your point, Jalen Virgil in college, 98 catches for 1,436 yards, 11 touchdowns receiving. He had, 16 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown in his career. Kit returns, as I said before, 37 returns for 1,142 yards, 30.9 yards a return. 30.9 yards a return and 3 touchdowns. That's Virgil.
I'd rather have Virgil based off the numbers. But again, this is Appalachian
But
State.
that's the thing. You know, my thing is, you know, you got one on the practice squad, you got one on the 53, which is whatever. If you didn't do Hardy and you say, you know, Hamler wouldn't quite it, Evans is hurt, we got to find somebody. Codrington, sure. If you had to.
Right.
But you drafted a guy who to my estimation, is not going to make it 18 games into a practice squad season. I just don't see it. A cornerback's going to get hurt somewhere, a slide or whatever, and they're going to be like, yo, where's that guy that Buffalo? Let's get him. And I feel like he's going to get poached. I don't see he's not protected.
And this is they got opportunity to get him every week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He's up for grabs any day.
Wow.
I mean,
wait. Can he refuse?
Yeah, he can refuse. But why would you?
I know, right?
Because you have to put me on the 53. I got to get paid a real check. Why would you? I mean, he gets paid. I think now it's $12,000 a week for rookie practice squad or whatever it is. And then,
some of the practice squad players make like $300,000.
Well, that's when you start off at 12, and then once you get vetted, it goes higher.
Yeah.
So like Matt Barkley was making. He was making a lot.
Yeah.
Because he had years.
Just chilling on the practice.
Oh yeah,
just chilling.
Coming for practice, playing at the ops quarterback for practice.
Half nil, whatever. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I could have did that, man.
Sinke, sorry, go ahead.
Go.
Sinke says, I would have taken Juju over MVS. That must have been some dinner him and Josh had.
It was probably chicken nuggets.
Yo, there's a lot of receivers that got cut. And I'm like, yo, I wouldn't mind like trying them out here.
They jumped. The problem with this is they jumped too fast at whatever was out there. Like, we're just the scrubs that we used to be.
Yeah,
they forget.
Like, what about Tim Patrick? I like Tim Patrick. He got
yeah, Tim Patrick.
See, those are undercover things that they jump at.
Wouldn't Tim Patrick be like a Mac Hollins? Just about the same?
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
roughly the same player. Yeah. Tim Patrick is younger.
He's younger, yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. That sometimes you have to just wait it out, and that's why you got to draft, because what they do is they go get the free agent and they draft. Whereas if you draft, you're like, okay, I still got this hole here, I got that hole here. I don't really like how this guy was working out. Then you go find some. They're going to be cut, especially when nobody can afford anybody in salary cap days. These days, people are getting cut that shouldn't be cut because the teams can't afford them. But the Bills, no, we go ahead and I don't want to say Mac Hollins, but Mac Hollins and Mike Edwards, all these 1-year contracts that they're signing because they don't feel confident. And these contracts are signed because guys are saying this is either my last hurrah or I'm trying to prove myself. I got to put some tape out there so I can get a big contract or a better contract, because nobody just loves playing 1-year contracts. Who? Right. Why would you?
So let me ask you guys this, and I'll give you guys my answer first. I don't think it is, but do you guys think that do you guys think that $12 million is burning a hole in the Bills' pocket right now?
I honestly think it is. Bean, to me, is not the type of dude who keeps money like that. Like, he figured, well, where can I use this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I got capital to use. Where can I use it? So, like, I was going to put this out there, but I think it's way too early to even do that. I think, depending on how the season goes, you're going to see, I won't say a huge trade, but a big trade before the trade deadline.
I can see that.
Because I think Bean can't he can't have money.
Can't sit still.
He can't because he got it. He's like, oh man, what am I gonna do with this?
I think for Bean, I think this time it's gonna be different. I think he's gonna be unprecedented this year.
Really?
Yeah,
and just not do anything.
I won't say anything, but nothing like he's been doing. Like, usually he lies and says, I'm not gonna do anything. He does it.
Right.
This year he's like, I can't, because down the line I don't have that wiggle room like I used to have. Because next year we're looking at a deficit right now. We're $2 million over. And that's next year. And then the year after that, I don't know. I think we're good in 26 or whatever it is. But he's gonna have to roll something over.
Even if I heard somebody say when they raise it, will be good.
Yeah, but we don't know what it is. We don't know what it is. So you can't count on something you don't know. You know it's gonna be higher, but you don't know what.
And the other part of that too is Josh's salary jumps from what is it at 30 million this year?
I think 43 to 60.
Yeah, it jumps to 60 million next year. So that immediately takes up whatever salary cap bump you have. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm kind of happy for him because he's too good to not get paid what everybody else is getting paid. Like, I feel like these quarterbacks right now, like, I can't stand the Cleveland Browns. They killed the quarterback market with the whole Deshaun Watson contract. He killed the market.
I want to ask. I don't even think it was him. I think it was Kirk Cousins to Minnesota.
Really?
That first fully guaranteed contract. Let me get that.
Watson got the first guaranteed one.
No, Kirk Cousins was fully guaranteed.
Watson was. I thought Watson.
Yeah, actually it was. Yeah,
that's why I was pissed off. Lamar.
No, Kirk Cousins got it before him.
This dude get a contract.
And Watson got $230 million. Kirk Cousins like $89 million guaranteed.
So Watson.
It was less, but at the time,
but he got the first.
Yeah, at the time it was like,
okay.
Everybody's like, nah, fam, because that's what they were like. I want more guaranteed. I don't know. Hell no. That's what he got.
Yeah, but they gave Watson a fully guaranteed
230.
and the dude
He
didn't
wasn't.
even play a
He wasn't
year.
going to Cleveland. That's what they knew it. So see, that's what you do when you're. I don't want to say when you're Cleveland. When you're in the state they were in at the time, because they knew he wasn't going to play, and he probably knew he wasn't going to play because of the legal standards he was in. But at the same time, there wasn't no way you were getting him in Cleveland. They knew we have to do something because we're not bad enough to get a top quarterback, but we're not good enough to sign him because nobody wants to come here. Right. But if we get Deshaun Watson, now we can go ahead and get this guy and that guy and this guy. Right. You know, so that's what that was all about. It was a marketing play.
Lamar said, "Oh, what he got? Joe Burrow. What did he get? All these dudes.
Yeah, that's exactly
Lawrence. What? Oh, what? I'm better than him. I'm like, come on, man. And so like, I'm glad that Josh is getting his money, but like I said last year, I'm afraid because once he plays out his contract, that new contract, what he gonna want? 40, 50?
Josh?
Yeah, but that's nothing in. That's peanuts in.
You might as well just keep giving him the 60 at that point. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. People are talking about, oh, he's going to restructure. No, he's not.
No, yeah,
why? He's not making enough as it is. Right. Why would he restructure? Right. Now, this is. I just thought about this just off the cuff when you were talking. Those same people that said Josh is overrated, would they say he's not top 15?
Yo, would they say what? No, they said he's number 4.
Yeah, that's
what. Did they? I didn't even get that.
Woody on ESPN Get Up, which I was surprised he did. He said, that don't make no sense. He said how you rate this dude 4 and then say he overrated.
Right. That's the thing. That's what I was getting is like when people say you're overrated, like how. And what I was going to do, and it didn't pop because it was a pay site. But what I was going to do is I was going to read off the tiers because you got to think, and it's relative. So, do you think Heineke is overrated? No. Do you think Tua is overrated in tier 3 or what? No. So, by virtue of that, he probably is the one that
he was number 2.
Who's that?
Tua.
I know.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is was he number 2?
Yeah, he's number 2.
Okay. Well, that's probably because he was the highest.
I think it went Josh, Tua, and then I forgot the third one was. But anyway, he said out of the 32 teams, how many people, fans or players, would rather have Josh Allen than the quarterback that they got?
It's probably, the only ones that I think would be set would be
like KC, of course.
I think Baltimore's good. I think they're cool. Cincinnati's,
but bro, everybody else,
pretty much.
They'll take Josh in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Because if you look at overrated and overvalued, Josh's name can't be there because, like you said, even if you go as far as because I ran numbers, a lot of the metrics he's like top 7 by most metrics, which is okay. But you're still talking about a 2 or 3 person jump,
right? Which
is subjective. But you're getting paid the 15th highest salary, unless somebody else got paid. I can't remember.
Right?
Is he overvalued?
Right.
No, because he's undervalued. Anybody would tell you that.
Right.
Christian Wilkins would tell you that.
He hates that dude.
He hates it, even though he says that's my guy in his press conference.
And then they say he's the biggest trash talker. Like what?
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah, that I believe. Yeah.
I believe that.
And I think that's why they say overrated because for him talking as much trash as he does, and in their minds he ain't won a championship, or they compare him to Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick he doesn't talk as much as Josh, but it makes people sour against Josh to that degree where they'd be like, man, this dude overrated, man. Like it's kind of their way of getting back. I just think this whole thing is hilarious about how the perception of the Bills has now gone down as far as the quality of their roster. And so everybody's kind of seeing blood in the water. Now all this stuff about how Josh is overrated has been coming out all season. It's like they've been waiting to kick Josh when he was down. Right. And what I think is very egregious, like just terribly bad about this whole situation is that everybody's overlooking Lamar Jackson's MVP, the 2023 MVP.
Yeah, nobody wants to talk about that.
Like nobody's talking. Everybody's talking about how Josh is overrated.
Nobody want to talk about that.
But they don't want to mention Lamar Jackson's MVP. No disrespect to Lamar Jackson, great player, but his 2019 MVP was absolutely warranted. We're talking about 3,000 plus passing yards, 1,000 plus rushing yards, 36 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions.
Like 19 touchdowns.
And he had 7 rushing touchdowns.
And he led the NFL.
Exactly.
He was the top dog.
You want to know where he was?
He had 19 passing touchdowns like that this year.
He had what?
Like 19 passing touchdowns.
I'm about to tell you. In 2023, he threw for 3,678 yards. right? He had 24 touchdowns.
Oh yeah, 24. Huh?
He had five rushing touchdowns.
Don't you laugh over there.
What'd you say?
I said, don't you laugh over there.
What'd you say before that?
I said, oh, I forget now.
He thought he had 19. So, he had 24.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. Now, what's funny about this, let me read you all the names that were in front of Lamar Jackson with this MVP vote, right? Tua, Goff, Dak, Allen, Purdy, Mahomes, Love, Stroud, Baker.
What?
All had more passing yards than Lamar Jackson, right? Wow. Here's who had more touchdowns than Lamar Jackson. Dak, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, Josh Allen, Tua, Baker, and Mahomes. All had more touchdowns than Lamar. All of them. Who had more rushing touchdowns than Lamar? Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts both had 10 more touchdowns than this dude had, but yet he gets the MVP. Why? Because his team wins 12 games. That's it. None of his other stats warrant him getting an MVP.
You know what's funny?
This is it.
You know what's funny? Look at all of Josh's numbers by the years, his passing stats.
Yep.
If he had that this year, he'll be the laughing stock of the quarterback. Oh, he's terrible. He sucks. Look at how bad his numbers dropped. But these numbers were good enough to win MVP. But when he get them, oh yeah, you suck.
Yeah. Right. And that's incredible to me.
And I thought this is another thing. I didn't bring this up when we talked about the overrated Josh. This is another reason why I don't care. Because think about it. We were fans for the Super Bowl years, right? We all watched Super Bowl years. The first one, tough luck. Second one, man, y'all weren't prepared at all. No. Third one, what are you here for? What happened after the third one? We were the most hated. I bet you would ask most people in the U.S. in 93. I hope that team drops 35,000 feet out of the sky and just disappears from the face of the planet. But they're like, we're back. That's what they said, right? I'm back. So what is it? And things like that is like, that's why I don't care about lists and stuff like that, because what does it matter? If this ain't college, what does it matter? Because there's no AP polls. I don't care what you think about me. It's not about underdog. I'm paid to do what I'm paid to do. If I win games, I don't care if you like me or not. I'm gonna do it. Now, to your point about the underrated, the trash talk, absolutely. Well, you gotta think about it too. With the flops, he was starting to flop. He was complaining to refs. He's doing this to people. He's doing this.
See, now I can see that, but to me is his level of doing it. Like, he talks, but his level is like, it's not.
I think he's sneaky. I think he's a sneaky cat.
Well, he does like you can see him kind of do it after he makes a play on somebody
or run somebody over. I like that.
Right. Like, that's okay. You just made a play. You can't talk stuff to them.
Right.
Hey, they don't let you spin the ball at people's feet and you get a first down.
Well, that's the ref.
I think Cam was a worse trash talker. Peyton Manning was a worse trash talker.
Well, see, they wouldn't exist in this league though. Phillip Rivers, they wouldn't exist in this league.
I'd say Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, they wouldn't exist. I mean, they talk so much stuff, but this league, remember when they tried to? How do you enforce this? But remember when they said that if they hear derogatory terms like the N-word or something like that, you get a personal foul. How do you enforce that? Right. You got helmets on. Right. Who said that?
Right.
You're getting a penalty.
Right.
Whoever said it is getting a penalty.
How you know who said it?
That's like the time when we were at the Dolphins game where they throw snowballs. The next snowball, they kept throwing like y'all.
That's where that ghost ref comes in with the all black. He's standing right behind dudes, right next to him, listening.
Yo, I was scared. I was like, too. That's not right, man.
Yeah.
Because if I'm a Miami Dolphin fan,
start throwing him on the field.
Go right here.
Right. Boom.
Yep.
Bills, penalize the
right,
Bills.
Right.
Like, that ain't right.
Yeah.
So I it's like one of those deals where they try to intimidate you or they talk. But I mean, you could talk mess as long as you can back it up. And so far he can back it up. I don't care about any of that stuff because it is what it is. It's part of sportsmanship. I wasn't good at it. I never was a good trash talker. I don't talk trash on the game. I don't talk trash in real life. I just sucked at it. And I got in trouble for it many a time on the basketball court for not talking. Oh, I got many penalty laps.
Trouble for not talking?
Yes.
What?
If
I'm talking trash?
For not talking, I forget. So like literally, like I would go up and I would block a shot. I would send it. People jumping all over me, and I'm just standing there like Tim Duncan, like whatever. I make a game-winning shot. Tim Duncan, whatever. Because it didn't register. I'm supposed to do stuff. I'm playing the game. I'm not thinking about the rest of it. I'm not trying to get in your head. I'm not trying to start a fight. I'm trying to play the game.
Remember when we played in that flag football league? Yes. Remember the game I got hurt in? Were you there for that?
trying to remember.
I was playing safety. I got that pick, and the receiver, like, we jumped at the same time, but I got in front of him. I got the ball, and he grabbed me by my wrist, and he kind of slammed me down on my side, and I got the wind knocked out of me.
Yeah.
And I was down for a minute, right?
Yeah.
I was talking so much stuff to this receiver the whole game. But the crazy part was, like, it was true. Like, they never threw to this dude. The whole game I was covering him. They never, and I was telling you a decoy. I don't even know why you lining up. Like,
You ain't getting the ball nowhere.
Yeah, right. What you,
And
why
he
you
hit you
even
with the
running?
key
Just
eye.
stand there. You ain't getting the ball.
He hit you with that cane like,
I guarantee he went back and said something to the quarterback because they switched him to the other side after like 3 plays of me talking stuff. They switched him to the other side and they threw. He ran a quarter route and I cut that bad boy off. I had the ball in my hands. Dude grabbed me by my wrist and slammed me down on my side. Wind knocked out of me. I was done for the game.
Yo, this was flag, bro.
Right.
play for keeps.
Yeah. They don't play. They out there for blood. But we getting short on time, so whatever y'all want to cover, we got to cover it in the next 4 minutes.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Let's see, he touched on the wide receiver. Kareem Jackson. You touched on Kareem Jackson. We
Yep.
got that. We got. Okay, I was at the UB game.
Yeah, Laura, you're right. You never forget to talk trash. I still haven't replied to that message you sent me on fantasy football.
Laura's
And
the
you
nicest-
co-signing over here.
she's the nicest- Yeah, I was doing it during the whole draft. Nobody was. But yeah, so Joey Andreessen. If you think Andreessen is that dude, I challenge you to watch UB and tell me Sean Dolak ain't the second coming. Sean Dolak is a better linebacker than Joe Andreessen.
Oh,
I've heard that.
Key,
Yes.
you talking big stuff right
No,
there,
I'm not.
man.
No. Sean Dolak. No. This is how I know. Sean Dolak was the guy before Andreessen came like 2 years ago or 2 seasons ago.
Really?
Dolak actually left UB to go to Utah State because of the head coach we had. When Link was left or got fired, whatever happened, he came back. He actually was in Utah practicing. Came back. You know what he did yesterday? 11 tackles, 2 for a loss, 1 interception.
Ooh.
Dude is a monster. He is a monster. He actually, I think he won walk-on of the year when he first played for UB. He's their best defensive player.
That probably means we're not going to get him.
If you draft him in the 6th round, as long as he plays special teams
Well.
and only special teams, nothing else.
Yeah.
What if Joe Andreessen's like, yo, we need to draft this dude?
Let me put it like this: if Dolak was on the team when Andreessen played, Andreessen wouldn't be.
Really?
And that's no slight on Joe. Dolak is that good.
Yo, can he do both? Can he hit and cover?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I want him.
Yeah.
I want him.
Look him up. Yeah. Oh yeah. Watch. Try to find film on him.
Wait, what year is he in? This is his...
I think it's his 5th year senior, so he's coming out this year.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, did y'all check out the Colorado game?
I fell asleep on the end of it, but I
Yo.
did watch it.
Yeah, I after Hunter got that last touchdown,
Bro.
they scored that. Like, that was a nasty catch, but I fell asleep after that.
Yo,
I took a melatonin.
them boys.
What's going on?
Yo, I want Travis Hunter, bro.
You ain't getting him.
Hold on. Now wait a minute. Do you think he'll go like high?
Absolutely. They got him in top 10 right now.
But remember, this ain't the SEC though.
Mhm.
So like, is that gonna? Do you think that drop
Not
him?
for him. Not for him.
But like, yo, that one catch though, as a wide receiver, dude, when he go into the pylon, he threw it the opposite way. Like, you want that ball here, he threw it this way.
Mhm.
The
Yeah, the
quarterback
receiver
is here.
Yeah.
So he literally had to turn. I'm like, yo,
Mhm.
if that's me, now one thing, like, I didn't have elite speed, I wasn't strong, but I had pause.
Oh, okay. You strong though.
I had
You are
pause.
strong.
Listen,
Okay.
I had
Stop.
pause.
Yeah, he got the guns out.
All
talking
right,
about
bro.
I wasn't strong. You see this?
Yeah,
Bro,
right.
there's no way I could have made that catch.
There's no way a lot of people could have made that catch.
That
But
was crazy. But I wonder, did Shador mean to throw, or he just did it? Because if he tried to do that, come on, man.
let me change the narrative. There is a way you can make that catch. Why do I know this? Because when you don't think about stuff, you do unthinkable crap.
That's true.
There is a way. There's nobody that's more human than you. I can tell you that. And any kid watching it, if somebody does something, you can do it. Just don't think about it. But no, I think that for that game yesterday, I wanted a blowout because it was an FCS school. So that tells me Colorado still got some work because North Dakota State looked good.
Yeah.
They look good, and they're not supposed to look good against Colorado. So my man said, "Wow, another guest."
Yeah.
The
producer in the head house.
Now my man said, what's up, brother? Why doesn't Deion go to he need to go to a big school? I said, why? He said, go to Florida State. I said,
bro.
I said, fam, normally I get it. But you know, Deion has 42 transfers. He stole 5-star recruits.
Yo.
He stole, I don't care. He could have been in Anchorage.
Yo, who's this running back they got? They got 2 running backs that look pretty good.
I don't even know.
Bro, they host
they got 2 wide receivers that are going pro with the Hunter. They got,
but yo, he's playing both sides of the ball.
Yeah, you've never watched Colorado? Like you never watched him before now? Or
Wait. Okay, so let me ask you this. So you're an NFL team, right? No NFL team, I'd say in the modern era, has had a player play both sides of the ball. Would you let him do it? Knowing what you deal with in the NFL, would you let him do it? And if you're not going to let him do it, which side would you force him on?
It depends on my roster.
Okay.
Yeah.
For example, to me, the best receiver room right now, where I got like, I wouldn't say best, but a good one. I like San Francisco's. I like Houston's. So if I got guys like that, I may have him play both sides.
You could go to Troy Brown route and use him when you need him.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Or like remember they should do Deion.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing corner, but like, yo, if Irvin got hurt or Harper got hurt, yo,
go run that 9.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's go fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
but I don't know if I would count on him to do it like every game.
He could. There's no way he
that's
could.
Too much.
Too much run. That's way too much. He gas. You know, in this league, would you do both or?
No.
Okay.
I would put him at corner. I
corner?
think him playing corner with those hands.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
just imagine, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, corners in the NFL just don't have hands like that. It's one of the reasons why Stephon Diggs' brother has been so good. Like, he's got hands.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put him in if he was to come into this defense, the Bills defense, is with as much zone as he plays with his athleticism and his ability to catch the ball. Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yeah, McDermott would never go for it though.
Yeah,
because he talks
right.
trash.
Yeah.
He's got an ego. And Deion said he's got to go to these 5 destinations or wherever. I forget what they were, but he's got stipulation on Travis and his son.
They're all Southern because they don't pay them taxes in Florida.
Yeah, they don't pay taxes. They don't play in the cold.
Yep.
He wants them to play in a dome too. I'm like, okay, just stop.
Yep.
Just stop. You can only go here, and that's it.
Right. But yo, Deion, man, he killing it, bro. They're the amount of people who's going to the school went up tremendously just because he's there.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
There's no excuse for Colorado
there.
not being
Everything
good.
else is elevated.
There's no excuse for Colorado not being one of the top schools record-wise this year.
On his staff, bro, he had
Warren Sapp, T.O.
Warren Sapp. I'm like, yo,
Yep.
you got 3 Hall of Famers on your coaching staff.
Warren Sapp was like, yo, I never would have pictured myself being a coach. Like, I never wanted to be this.
It goes deeper.
Tried to get Ed Reed too.
He had him at Jackson State, but it goes deeper though. You got to look at the other coaches they have. He has all pro. All the guys are pro defensive coordinator, offensive coordinators. We're all, even his position coaches were coordinators in the league or in college at head coach. As a, that's ridiculous. So if you can't build a team that can get you, 10 or so win, I don't know what to tell you. Everything is going in your favor.
You think he ever comes to the NFL?
No, he said he won't.
Really?
Yeah, he said he wouldn't.
Even when the Suns come?
Yeah, he said no.
Come on, Prime.
Right.
Come on, we need that.
Exactly right. He's exactly right. Yeah. No, I mean, listen, I would trade Sean for Prime any day.
I'm surprised. I didn't see that coming.
Yo.
Yeah,
I can't pass up Prime.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how could you ever pass up having Prime as your head coach, man? All the sound bites that you would get, like, I would instantly go to apply for a press pass. Instantly. But we got to get out of here, man. We ran out of time. It's 7:59, and Key is about to get that pink slip at his door. So here goes the music. All right. I want to thank everybody for commenting. I really apologize that we didn't get to all of these comments. I want to welcome John Blackman Jr. I want to also welcome Bill's Fever. And if I missed anybody else, if this is your first time commenting or joining us, welcome. You are now part of the family just because you tuned in. So hopefully you stick with us because it's going to keep getting better and better. Now that we're on the network channel, right? This is where we're supposed to be the whole time. But it took us some time to fight and get here. But nevertheless, we're here. We love it. And hopefully, we do bigger and better things from here on out. So with that being said, like, subscribe, hit that bell, make that thing so that you can get notifications when we send notifications and stay on top of us, right? Because we stay putting out stuff. You can get in contact with us. All of our social media links are in the description. You can hit us up and slide into our DMs. I don't know if people are still saying that nowadays.
Probably. It's hip. Evidently not. Flag on the play.
You do? Okay.
Well,
no,
right. You're not weak because he just turned 13 and he's younger than you. So he looked at us like we crazy.
Well, that's
so
true. We got a younger generation to check out now. You got a whole full-time job. So
you said I don't know, brother. I don't know where you fall, but you might. I don't know.
Okay.
We say the same thing. We're still hip or whatever they call it these days. Okay.
All right. Well, fair enough. But we got to get out of here because there's another podcast coming up after us that has a great guest on, and I want you guys to check that out. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Listen, Mondays and Fridays is when we're on 6 to 8 p.m. every single time, unless we specifically say we're going to do something different, and I'll put it in the community section.
In the bylaws, yes.
In the bylaws. So just keep an eye out for all that. But listen, thank you for tuning in. We will see you on Monday. Y'all have a great night.
Peace.